Riverside. First down and 10, right at the 42. Jones goes back, fakes it, hands it off straight up the middle. Once again, nice little dive play to Branch. Branch gets a gain of about one. I'm going to give him a half a yard. They're going to put him back at the original line of scrimmage for no gain. Jackson Owen comes to the near side of the field for Riverside. Dominic Cox outside of him. Here comes the pass again over the middle. Right there, trying to feed that ball to Dominic Cox. Cox can't go up and get it. It's going to bring up a big third down for the Tigers. Third down and 10. Jackson Owens stays right here. Brandon McMasters now in at running back for the Tigers. Big third down and 10. Jones rolls out. McMasters in the flat. Flips it over. Tries to get it to the sticks. Nice defense again by Jackson Owen. Should bring up a fourth down for the Tigers. So Mo Gamage makes a big play to start the game off, Mr. Neyland, and that's what turns things around for these Hornets. Bills is going to be back deep for the Hornets. He's going to stand at the 15. Kavion looking for something to do. Big rush on. Left-handed kicker. Kavion says, get away, fire, fire, fire. Picks it up because it was going to roll down to about the 6-yard line. Heads-up play by Kavion as he comes up, catches the ball, make sure he doesn't lose any more yardage for your Fullerton College Hornets here on Sportsnet, USA.net. So the defense makes the stop. Toby Schmidt comes out at running back. First down and 10. Schmidt at quarterback. Straight dive play up the middle. Gain of 1 on the play. So, yep. So Mike Taff makes the run. Taff in the backfield. Schmidt at quarterback. Second down and 8 for the Hornets. They hand it off to Taff. Off the right side. Refuses to go down. Nice little run to the 27 by the Hornets. Brings up a makeable third down to start off this game. 12:41 to go. Would be a huge win if they could beat the Tigers of Riverside. Big third down and 4 for Fullerton. Look over the sidelines. Aiden Bravo to the near side of the field. In the slot next to him, Xavier Hicks. Kavion Bills, the third receiver there. They go. Going too deep, go short. Xavier Hicks makes the catch. And Corey Neyland, this was something you brought up last week in the loss to Saddleback. Short passes, just past the sticks, don't go deep.
Yes.
Thank you. That's what we like. That's why we teach sports broadcasting for those well-defined athletic calls. First down and 10 for the Hornets at the 42. Riverside actually jumped. No call on him. Straight up the middle. Refuses to go down. Taft gets spun around all the way up to the 50. Gain of 8 on the play by Taft.
And we've usually seen Mike Taft in blowout games versus Palomar versus Grossmont. He's always runs hard. He has 1 touchdown this season, but he runs hard. He's big, he's physical, and he's looking good right here, 6 feet out of Bishop McGinnis High School in Oklahoma.
Second down and 3. Bakapuna comes in. Goes to the right side, gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up a third down and 2.
And let's hit that offensive line for the Hornets. Mikado Walker is the center, Hayden Frazier and Braden Cook the guards. Preston Jeffs and Dylan Spencer the tackles for the Hornets.
Bakapuna stays in. They flip the receivers to the far side of the field. Bills. Xavier to the far side of the field with Aiden Bravo. 3rd down and 2. Schmidt has time. Takes off running. He's got to make the stick. He's got to turn. He does not make it. He's short. You're going to say he made it, Corey? They give him a 1st down. Corey, I thought he looked like he got hit before he got there.
He did get hit before he got there, but again, he fell forward to pick up the 1st down. And that defense for the Tigers from the defensive front is Isaiah Bogar, Makai Sagayo, and Peter Ayabi. Linebackers David Line, Taven Anderson, Adrian Williams. And the secondary, Marcellus Linton, Jawan Nixon, Ashad Chapman, Blair Silva Viella, Raymond Valencia, Ahmad Chapman, Sayapeti Maeva will all be in there in the secondary.
Okay, Corey, I almost interrupted you because they hadn't moved the sticks, and they still have not moved the sticks. So if it's not a 1st down, it's a 4th down. If it's not 4th down, it's 1st down.
So the near side official had it 1st down, moved the sticks. The far side official, they initially had him short but moved up to the 1st down marker.
Now the white hat comes in and says it's a 1st down. That's what we call.
And it's officially marked as a Hornet 1st down.
Aiden Bravo goes to the far side of the field. Bevenu and Bills to the near side of the field. Gatewood the up back. Bakapuna the back, deep back. Bakapuna is served his breakfast and loses 3 on the play.
And Isaiah Bogar, Mark, he's one of the best dual athletes in the state. Last year he was all conference at the end. I think he led the SCFA in sacks, and he's also an all-stater in track and field in the field events.
2nd down and 13 for the Hornets. They look over. Schmidt stays there. Gatewood, the tight end, who rarely sees the football thrown his way. Nice time to sneak him out to recoup. We'll see what they do in this play. Going far, trying to go to Bevenu, thrown short, and it was there to get picked if it's thrown on a line.
Rashad Chapman on the coverage, and back to Bogar. It was the discus and the shot put that he was proficient in, and I believe he won state last year when we were there.
Yeah, we were. Yeah. Hicks goes to the far side of the field with Logan Lester. Empty backfield for the Hornets. 3rd down and 13 at the 50. They come. So if you get enticed to move, and there was a Tiger that was off the line of scrimmage, but the ball was not hiked, the offensive lineman moves by being enticed. So here comes the discussion. Who moved first is what the referees will discuss.
They're going to back him up. And the crowd on the Fullerton side agrees with you, Mark, is that they were enticed, or the offensive lineman, was enticed to move back because the defensive end moved first.
Yep. And he was across, too, Corey, but it wasn't called that way. Just had the officials up in the booth saying, we get blamed for everything. Bevenu stays this side of the field, as they should be. Big 3rd down play. Schmidt drops it off. Picked right there. All the way down, just short of the thing.
And that's Taven Anderson out of Beaumont. Big interception at the 45, or about the 50-yard line, and almost brings it back for a pick 6. Toby Schmidt floated it out there into 2 receivers and 4 defenders.
So they're going to mark it at the 5. And so the Hornets have the first big giveaway in this game.
And that's the 6th interception thrown by Toby this year. For Anderson, that's his second interception.
Brady Jones back in at quarterback. Pearson at running back. First down and goal. Going deep into the corner, overshoots the receiver. Incomplete pass.
And it would be an understatement to say that you can't give Riverside this short field position at the 5-yard line. This is the most prolific offense in the state. And not by a little, but by a wide margin.
Owens to the near side of the field. Cox to the far side of the field with Wilford. Second and goal from the 5. They get a little motion against Riverside. So as soon as Cox went in motion, then we got a little flinch going on by Riverside. 2 people in motion, illegal procedure. Let's back them up by 5.
That's going to get a go against Nico Alvarez.
Second and goal from the 10-yard line. Owens to the near side of the field. In the slot next to him, Dominic Cox. Brady Jones at quarterback. Second and goal from the 10. Jones feels the pressure, throws it and dumps it, and Corey, give it to Jones, who felt the pressure, and we're going to get a flag. So is that going to be roughing the passer also?
Yeah, they're going to get roughing the passer. There wasn't another Riverside lineman back there, so it's not going to be holding.
Personal foul, roughing the passer against the Hornets. So Omar Hammond makes the catch for the Tigers. So they'll give it a first down. It'll be first and goal for the Hornets.
And the offensive line.
For the Tigers. First and goal for Riverside. Averaging 59 points again. Ball is on the ground. Jones gets dropped for a loss on the play.
And there's Jeremy Naborn on the snack, and there was a botched snap that allowed Naborn to get in there to pick up a sack.
So Owens will stay at this side of the field. Bring back Pearson in at running back along with Branch. Second and goal. Jones goes back, goes to the deep corner. Little pull of the jersey in Corey. It was uncatchable. But you know what? That looked like somebody helping somebody try to get out of their clothes.
And he said a little pull.
A little.
He's got to rearrange and retuck after that one. That line for Riverside is Maeva, Trinidad Lewis, Nico Alvarez, and Hausha, Taluma, and Trujillo have all been in already on the offensive line unit.
Cox to the far side, Hicks to the near side. Now they drop in the slot was Wilfor. Jones feeling the pressure, trying to outside, throwing it up deep to the corner. Is it incomplete? I thought for a second, Corey, I was hopefully going to say Fullerton pulled it down.
And Perry Williams IV should have had an interception, hit his hands, and dropped it. So it should have been a Fullerton turnover and to stop the drive. But it'll bring in their kicker, Luis Marin, who is 1 for 2 in field goals this season, his longest 28.
So Marin will have the ball spotted at the 14. You add 10, it's a 24-yard attempt. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 7:31 to go here in the first quarter, it's the Tigers 3, the Hornets 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Well, if you're a Hornet fan, a huge stop on a lollipop pass that gets picked off, taken back, and then the Tigers, well, they were sitting ready to get munch on a Hornet. Didn't happen. They got stung on the top of the mouth and said, hey, let's back off a little, and only got 3. Good defense for the Hornets, only to give up 3 to one of the most prolific offenses.
No, the most prolific offense in the state against the best defense in the state. So the greatness of both teams going at each other. You figure 608 total yards a game for Riverside. Fullerton has only given up 246 yards per game. First in the state in rushing. Riverside is first in the state in total offense, first in the state in passing yards, 406 a game, and first, as you mentioned, in total points scored per game, 59.3.
Peters and Bills back deep. Peters the near back, Bills the far back for your Hornets. Line drive down the middle. Bills takes it, slips. Down the field, cross the middle. Cavion across the 40 corner. We keep waiting for him just to keep going on that one, but he gets great field position for the Hornets.
Yeah, he's got a punt return for a touchdown. We were thinking he was going to Kashawn Griffin and have a kickoff return for a touchdown. He may get one yet.
So great field position. 3-0 Riverside. They scored because of a turnover, but defense stepped up and held him to 3. Here on a crucial game for the Hornets. A crucial game for Riverside or a mandatory game for Riverside?
They're in the playoffs no matter what.
Okay.
So they'd like to go into the playoffs with only one loss, that one loss be against Golden West.
First down and 10. Gatewood goes in motion. Go against the grain. And a fast defense just swallows up a back in the backfield. And Corey, that's one thing Riverside has always been, a fast and closing defense.
Yeah, aggressive out there. They've always had athletes. Whenever you played Riverside, even in their down years, they've always had athletes.
So, look over. Aiden Bravo goes to the far side of the field. Hicks comes to the near side of the field. Loss of 1 on the play. Second down and 11. Schmidt gets the ball, goes back, looks across the middle of the field. This time, throws it. It's a catch, and a great catch by Bills on the play.
And that was a better throw by Toby Schmidt. He steps into it confidently and hit Bills over the middle.
They get it all the way down to the 44-yard line. First down and 10 for the Hornets. Riverside says bump and run. We get the offensive line that jumps and says he came up and induced it, and they're pointing fingers. And this time they're going to call it on the defense. So it'll be first down and 5 for your Hornets at the 39.
Yeah, and the offensive line, if they don't want to jump, all they got to do is reach out, touch them. Like an 80s TV commercial.
There we go. Justin Honore in the backfield with Schmidt. Young man's got speed. Like Corey said, give him a gap and he's off and running. First and 5, right at the 39. Bills goes in motion from right to left. Schmidt goes back, flips it over the middle. Back shoulder pass, incomplete down at the 20.
Mikado Walker's helmet comes off, so they need a new center. And that'll be Michael Kitchie.
So Schmidt tried to go to Hicks. Hicks tried to make a back shoulder catch.
Excuse me, Corey Rivera-Zamora is the new center for the Hornets. And you see what they're doing. Riverside is putting 8 in the box, daring Toby and the offensive unit to throw the ball.
Second down and 5. Schmidt on a slant gets enough for a first. So quick little passes, Corey. Easy throws as Bevenu makes that catch for a first down.
And now he's the team's leading receiver after the last few games where he's really come on strong.
First down and 10 for the Hornets. And I know you like Bevenu as a receiver.
Oh, yeah, he's tough, he's strong, and he's got really good hands.
Bravo to the near side of the field. Bevenu to the far side of the field. Schmidt keeps him to himself. Quarterback keeper gets a block from Bevenu on the far side of the field. You were just talking that he can play strong arm football. He makes the key block on the play.
Tackled by David Lane out of Washington and Tacoma. But again, it's a big, strong run by Toby. Even with that interception, throughout this season, he's come back a little gun shy. And so he's coming out strong and not letting that affect him on this drive.
Bravo to the far side of the field. Bevenu to the near side of the field with Bills. Honore in at running back. They hand it off to him. Goes down It's going to be close to a first down. If he's short by about a foot.
And this play is ripe for a tight end.
Gatewood, who is out there.
He comes
How
out.
many does he have this year? 2?
He's got about 6 catches. David Wagner comes in for him. But can you imagine everybody up in the box play action pass?
Yep. Bakapuna, the deep back. They hand it off to Elvis. Did Elvis move? They've got Elvis across the sticks. First down for the Hornets.
10 in the box. It was just inviting you. Inviting you.
You need a first down. You need 1 yard. You call 42. Elvis Bakapuna with a 40 first down.
But they pick up the first. Good solid drive for the Hornets.
Bravo goes to the far side of the field. Logan Lester near side of the field. On a rate. Shrugs off one. Turns the corner. Gets at least a gain of 1.
Shrugs off Bogar, but Hickson is there for the stop. He's going to be an all-conference performer in this Southern Division.
Second down and 9. Hurry up, huddle. They hand it off straight up the middle. Sneaks his way through. Gets a gain of about 2. And everybody's saying, okay, Corey, they're all with you now because Riverside has got on the line of scrimmage within 3 yards. I'm going to say 10 players?
Yeah. Well, now they got 8 since Fullerton's going to spread them out.
Third down and 7. High snap. He looks. Ball is there. Ball is picked.
Xavier Hicks looked at the safety coming through, and it goes off of his chest, off of his helmet, couldn't tell which, but Blair Silva Viella makes the interception off the ricochet.
So another turnover on what was a very successful offensive drive for the Hornets.
You know, that was what you want. It was perfectly drawn up. And that was and that's not on Toby. That's on the receiver. Hit him in the hands, hit him in the chest, and bounced off.
Jones at quarterback gets the ball over. Jones goes back, looks wide open across the middle, doesn't see it. He takes off running. Jones flips it now from the side, and Jones makes a great pass behind. It is one of these acrobatic quarterbacks, Corey Neyland, as he drops it off to Chapman. So we get official timeout on the field as we have a player down right now.
And so the offensive unit on a drive, and this has shown glimpses of what they could be. Toby's came back on that drive and played well, didn't get disturbed after that interception, and he did put it on the money to Xavier Hicks, and he simply coughed it up, looked at the safety coming through, took his eyes off the ball, and it popped up for a pick.
First down and 10 for the Tigers. On the move again. Jones at running back. Stack Owens and Cox to the near side of the field. Jones going to the far side. Overshoots everybody. Had a receiver that he thought was open, but that was Branch who couldn't catch up with the ball.
Fullerton drops to a zone, mixing up the coverage in these first couple of series. Confused Jones just a little bit. We'll get that defense in just a moment.
Owens out to the far or the near side of the field. Dominic Cox. They run it straight up the middle. Stop there. Missed tackle. Now the scrum goes on. And eventually they play dead with Branch at the running back.
So that defense for the Hornets, which is the best in the state, their middle linebacker, Ethan Charpentier, let's put it this way, if they had a better record, he might be the defensive player of the year along with Jeremy Naborn, maybe the best athlete at D in the state, and Sean Malcolm.
3rd down and 5. Jones, quick throw, and Corey, it was a quick throw and an untimed throw.
It was quick
by Jones.
All the way because Maeva jumped at the right tackle position, and there was no call. But again, good, strong defense by the Hornets.
So the defense, again, in 2 turnovers, has only given up 3 points. Kavion Bills back deep, stands at the 30. Low snap. It's a free thing. They could go after it off the side of the foot, and it takes a Tiger roll. Down at the 39. So with 1:38 to go here in the first quarter, it's the Tigers 3, the Hornets 0 here on Sports at USA.net. Well, we all talked about how good Brian Crook's defense is. And if the offense could do something, they looked like it on their last drive.
Yeah, defense 6th in the state in total scoring. We said 1st in rushing and 8th in total points given up per game at 14.9. Excellent defense. Let's see if that offense can have another strong drive.
So, Vakapuna in the backfield. Bills, it goes in motion. They run a quarterback keeper as they fake it to Vakapuna. Schmidt takes it up the middle for a gain of 3 on the play.
And this drive will be interesting, Mark, because if they get in field goal range again, will they take that chance on a 3rd and 5 and throw it, or try to settle for a field goal, pick up a couple yards?
Vakapuna, the deep setback. Hand it off to Vakapuna. So Max Martin is now in at quarterback for the Hornets. I haven't seen Max for a while. Vakapuna, deep. Martin, the quarterback. 3rd down and 7, right across the 40. 46 seconds to go in the first quarter, only trailing by 3. Martin looks over. Vakapuna, the setback. Big 3rd down and 7 for Max. They creep up. Corey, there's 10 on the line of scrimmage. They're coming. Max sees them. Max changes things at the line of scrimmage. Shifts things out. Vakapuna shifts. They go. Here they come. Max needs to go now, and he throws to the backside, and there's nobody there. So it's going to bring up a 4th down at the 43. Marquise Monroe comes in. He'll stand for the Tigers just outside the 20. 19.1 to go. Nice high spiral taken there by Monroe and met. As soon as he catches it, he's down at the 25. So we'll see if Brian Crooks' defense can find a little magic down here now. Owens to the near side of the field. Pearson at running back. Jones at quarterback. In the slot on the far side of the field is going to be Cox for Riverside. 1st down and 10 at the 25. Run off to Pearson. Pearson gets hit. Gain of about 4 on the play.
Charpentier and Naborn, again, 2 of the best linebackers in the state up front. Harvey, Boyd, Paul Boyce in there for Burgueno. And also,
so that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. As we come to the end of the first quarter, it's the Tigers 3, the Hornets 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
To finish up that front 4, Des Palomalo is in. He comes in for Romeo Zuniga. The secondary, Mo Gamage, wearing number 6 in gray with the blue numbers. Number 7 is Bryant Meredith for the Hornets. And then the secondary, Perry Williams, the fourth, is number 20. Number 16 is Antoine Johnson Jr. He will be another all-conference performer. He's one of the best top 3 in the state at the safety position.
So 3-0, not what we necessarily expected in this first quarter. Brian Crook's defense, you said, Corey, he's changing things up a lot on the defensive side.
Yeah, he's not in the normal. He runs the basic, 4-3 if you're in old people like me, a 4-3 scheme, and he's running because the athletes are so good. But occasionally he'll bring in the nickel package on first down and second down because he knows how prolific the offense for Riverside is.
Jones at quarterback, Pearson at running back. Pearson goes back, goes to the middle, makes the catch there. Nickerson, the ball came out. So they're going to mark him up to the 32 is what they're going to give him. It'll be a 3rd down and 3. Cox comes to the near side of the field. Along with Wilford. Jones with an empty backfield. The Hornets playing tight. They walk up the line of scrimmage. Jost goes down. Can take off. Flips it right there in the middle. And what he does is if you don't wrap up, they're going to get away, make the corner, and yards after catch. And Corey, you've got to take down Jackson Owens when he touches the football.
30 receptions, 716 yards. Mark, every third catch he makes is a score. 11 touchdowns as a flag.
But it's coming back, holding against the Tigers.
And so with Jackson Owens, 30 catches, 11 touchdowns. They've got 3 receivers with almost 500 yards. Caden Williford, 416. Dominic Cox, number 4, 1,029 on 51 catches and 10 touchdowns.
KJ Cherry on the far side of the field. Going over again in the flat, taken there. They're going to stop him. Nice tackle after a respectable catch by Wilford as Caden Wilford gets a nice pickup, Corey, but it's just not enough to get a first down.
And Mark, Riverside's offense has 10 players with over 100 yards receiving. Their lead at 100, that's 112. That's just 10. They've got more. Fullerton's offense, leading receiver, 266 yards.
I looked at the stats and was saying to you, after you go through 3 and 5, you go, how many do they have? Bills back deep. Off the side of the foot. Everybody needs to get back. It goes out of bounds, and let's see if they mark it at the 48 or the 49-yard line. It's going to be at the 48. So it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Hornets in Tiger territory. The offense has had opportunities in this game.
They're 2 drives. And if you're optimists like some people are, they should have had some points. But they could have had some points.
They could have.
That way.
Max Martin comes out at quarterback. The up back is going to be Honore. The deep back is going to be Vaca Puna. 1st down and 10 at the 48. Max goes back, throws the middle. It's picked.
And he locked on to his receiver, Ahmad Chapman, and he wasn't open. And Chapman read that play, and he baited him into throwing that. He was 1 step behind while the ball's in the air, undercuts, and very athletic, 6'2", 175 out of Cajon High School. You like the aggressiveness, but again, you have to read it. You have to read the field if you're going to throw that or not.
3 interceptions within 15 minutes of play for the Hornets in this game. If you were to say Riverside had intercepted it 3 times, I wouldn't think the score is 3-0. Run a draw straight up the middle. Riverside gets a gain of 5, trying to counteract the aggressiveness by the Hornet defense.
And that was just a very, very good run because he was in the backfield. Kyle Tyler Shine had Ethan Charpentier in arm's length, and he scoots around him for a positive pickup.
2nd down and 6. Shine stays in at running back. Jones at quarterback. Jones rolls out, throws it out in the flat. Spin turn, gain should be close. If not, a 1st down for Riverside as Bo Bruins comes up with that one. So they're saying 1st down for the Tigers at the 32. Jones right there. Bruins stays in the backfield. Throw it again. Jones throws it out in the flat. Miss a tackle. Miss a tackle. Finally, miss a tackle. He's still up. And they're going to finally mark him down at the original line of scrimmage as 4 missed tackles, Corey, on a nifty move by a quick receiver.
Yeah, if you're going to wrap up, it might help out the cause to bring him down. Again, they're trying to knock people out, and they're just not going down. Both these teams are too athletic to not play fundamentally well.
Marquise Monroe in the backfield now for the Tigers with Jones. 2nd down and 9. Jones goes back, has all day to throw. Helmet gets knocked off. Across the middle of the field. Nice little pitch and catch, finding people, and you go right back to Monroe, who was just in the backfield.
And that's Des Palomalu, who's going to have to come out of the game because he gets his helmet knocked off.
They're going to mark it at the 45, 3rd down and 2. This is 2-down territory for Riverside. Jones goes back again, throws it out in the flat. What else? But tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Monroe that time doesn't even get back to the original line of scrimmage.
And that's the advantage of having aggressive corners who can tackle in Meredith and Gamage. That's Meredith. Instead of a 3rd down, and you said they're going to go 4th and 2 if they didn't get it, it's now 4th and 4, and you think you got to punt. And here's where Fullerton can't be too aggressive, though. They've blocked, I'm going to say 6 because I'll give them a little bit more, 6 punts and field goal or extra point attempts this season.
Here comes the middle. Almost gets to it. Bill signals for a fair catch, goes down, drops it, but comes up. Flag in the middle of the field. Boy, that was a heck of a throw with a flag. That got all the way up to the 45.
And there's 2.
So it should be holding, being thrown where it's at. The ball was caught at the 23 where it's spotted. We'll see what the flags are. Corey, Brian's Crooks defense so far in this game has been above superb. Because if you give Riverside 3 turnovers, and we were just talking, you and Ryan would probably say it's got to be at least 14-0 by now.
Yeah, they simply do what they do. That's what they've done all season long. So you're right, holding against Fullerton. That's declined. And a second hold against Fullerton. So 1 at the 45, 1 at the 32. They'll take the 1 at the 32 and back them up 10. Yeah, there was 2.
1 against both of them?
Yeah, against Fullerton on both. So let's see if they put the ball up in the air again with Toby, or if they're going to get it on the ground.
Schmidt back in at quarterback. 1st down and 10 for the Hornets. Running play straight up the middle. Break through the hole. Finally a gap in the hole. And Honore sneaks through it for a big game.
And that's simply good offensive line work.
Justin Honore gets through. Schmidt at quarterback. Aiden Bravo to the near side of the field. Bills and Bevenue at the far side of the field. Honore at running back. Schmidt at quarterback. 2nd down and 3 for the Hornets. Honore says, let me turn the corner again. Stays on his feet. Slithers his way through a hole. 1st down, Fullerton.
Got a little slivery with it. That's right. And the offensive line must have got a talking to. After 3 interceptions, coaching staff might have said, you're going to carry us this drive. Get us into positions.
And he slithered through the hole that was opened by 2 people hugging somebody. Little love was given, and they're penalized for it. Come on. What is that? As they move it back. So they're going to move it all the way back to the 20-yard line. 2nd down and 11 for the Hornets. Schmidt says run it one more time. Shrug their way up, and Corey, you might be right because there is no sense of throwing the football right now.
But you have to now. There's no way you want to get a 3 and out. You got to throw the ball. And if you throw it down 30, 40 yards, you know what? And it gets picked, that might count the same as a punt.
Bevenue, Bills to the near side of the field. Gatewood. They run it straight up the middle. 4th down.
So those 3 picks, kind of what they do, well, actually just made them do a 3 and out. I mean, that's one of those things. That's a wasted possession.
Gun shy.
That's a wasted possession.
Yeah, gun shy. You get gun shy. Monroe back deep stands at the 40. Right there. Looks over at the bench and says, should I move up? They tell him no, stay at the 40. He backs up all the way, foot into the ball, catches it over the shoulder with a fair catch. And let's see where they say his momentum took him and where he's down at. And they're going to mark it just short of the 25 at the 24-yard line. 8:28 to go. Be 1st down and 10 for Riverside. 3-0 here in a close 1st half.
Good kick, 45-plus yards for Charles Villarreal. And again, we've got Charlie Villarreal, his
grandfather's out there, yeah.
From Lincoln.
Took the train today to get there. Dive play up the middle. Take the turn. On a run. It's a foot race. Can he get pulled down? He gets pulled down from behind as Andre Branch just showed his speed and why they have the amount of yards they do on the ground.
And it wasn't a draw play. It was a draw. It was a delayed draw to combat that aggressive defense that was moving up the field. They run right by him. But you see the speed of Jeremy Naborn? That's a linebacker catching Andre Branch and catching some for a horse collar as well.
So they have a horse collar tackle. That will move it down to just outside the 10-yard line, I believe, Corey. So they need to move the chains.
Andre Branch outran the chain people.
They did.
And this is why you can't have those wasted possessions on offense if you're Fullerton, because Riverside can score quickly.
Cox and Moreau to the near side of the field. Branch stays back there. They give it to him. They should. Gets taken down just short of the 10. It'll be a 2nd down and 9.
Ethan is there.
Time, throw it over to the flat. Nice little pitch and catch out there to Bo Bruins. So Bo, who comes out, makes the catch.
Sean Malcolm is there. He's 2nd on the team in tackles with 47.
So they're going to mark it right down at the 7, be 3rd down and 3 with 7:22 to go. Branch stays in the backfield. Jones at quarterback. Jones keeps it himself, turns the corner, and he's in for a touchdown.
Tigers cuts and runs across the goal line for a Tigers touchdown. No flags.
And you see they faked the inside handoff because it worked on this series. And the defensive ends crash down. They forget about Jones. And he can not only throw it for touchdowns, well, he can run it in as well.
So with 7:09 to go, the Tigers score their first touchdown of the day.
5th on the ground this season. And so Marin.
Kick is up, and the kick is good. With 7:09 to go, it's the Tigers 10, the Hornets 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
So Marine is now 51 of 54 in extra points on the season.
Well, it's been a difficult season for the Hornets, coming in 5-4 overall. Saddleback ekes out a victory. Mount San Jacinto wins a victory. Teams that you thought they might beat, I'm not going to say we knew they'd beat them, they might beat. They couldn't beat the teams we thought they might beat, and they beat the teams they should beat. And that's why they're sitting where they are right now, hoping for a bowl game, or at least an invitation to a bowl game. Taken at the 10. Looking for a Kern. Gets sidestep, cuts back to the middle. Gets just short. They're going to mark him down right at the 30-yard line. So Peters gets it up to the 30. And now the Hornets, well, Corey, you almost feel like if there's a time in a game that they have to do something,
They have to
I
score.
feel like now.
Yeah, they have to score.
Okay.
If they don't score here, it's going to be a long, long second half.
Baca Puna comes out at running back. Schmidt at quarterback. 3 picks within 15 minutes by your Hornets. Baca Puna straight up the middle. Nothing there.
He runs right into Darren Scott out of Moreno Valley, 6'2", 295.
They're going to give him 3 yards on the play.
Good, strong run.
Toby looks over. Bills in the slot, near side of the field. Bravo to the far side of the field. 2nd down and 7 for the Hornets. Bills goes in motion from right to left. Baca Puna runs to the tackle position and gets taken down.
And we saw it last week against Saddleback when they varied up their offensive plan in the second quarter. That was as good as an offensive quarter that they've had all season because they varied it up. They weren't running the same formations, and they were putting different people in options to be successful.
3rd down and 7 for the Hornets. 5:40. Schmidt goes back, throws across the middle of the field, and Bills gets leveled. Right there, it brings up a 4th down, and let's see if the Hornets just say, hey, let's roll the bones.
Ashad Chapman, and unfortunately, you got to kick it away. Again, you'd like for them to go for it, but in this situation, after Riverside's finding their rhythm, you have to kick it away. You can't give them that opportunity on a short field. You're hoping your defense can get another touchdown because they've got 6 this season.
Marquise Monroe back deep for the Tigers. Monroe signals for a fair catch, backs up, should be at about the 11. It's right at the 10. 15.
So another 50-yard boom for Charles Villarreal. He's glad his granddad's here. Got that extra leg.
So, Corey, we've got the officials talking to each other. I didn't see a flag on the field. Did you?
No. So a sideline warning against Fullerton. Or against
Unsportsmanlike.
Riverside.
Yeah. Yes.
Illegal participation.
Yeah.
12-man or in late substitution.
It should be. Yeah. Should be illegal, like an illegal substitution. That's what it is. So we'll see if they move it back because they signaled what would normally be an illegal substitution.
Okay. Okay.
So I was, hey, I was right when I said it was marked at the 10. They're just listening to me up here. See, I told you the officials were smart people.
So let's see if the defense can come up with the score. They've got 6 this season. Tops in the state. Ethan Charpentier had an interception in this spot last week against Saddleback. He got down to the 2, had it stripped away. Let's see if they come back this week and can get those 2 yards on a turnover because they do need one.
So they're having a discussion amongst the officials. The white hat finally says it's a called penalty.
Okay, and Brian Crooks is saying if it's an illegal participation, shouldn't that be on the kick and back down to the line of scrimmage and get it closer to a first down marker for the Hornets?
It should be because it's before the play happened.
Correct. It's not a dead ball foul.
No. And it's not during the play, Corey.
Right. And so what happens is it comes up, what was it, 3rd and 6 or 3rd and 5? I think it was 3rd and 6. It would have left a 4th and 1 for a new opportunity. If you wanted to go forward or not, that would change the situation.
So if it was, or 12 men on the field, so it's before the play, so therefore the play should not stand. They should take it back to the line of scrimmage. They should measure it and say to the Hornets it would be 4th down and whatever. You have an option. They didn't give the Hornets that option because it's before play if that's what the call is. If it's during the play, then it's marked off against them. But if it's what they're calling on the field, it should be before the play, technically. See, and there goes my sneaky partner. He's going to try and get an explanation down on the field. So I'm really waiting to see. I don't understand. Okay, well, Corey's going to find out for us because this would be an interesting explanation by the referees. Flag on the play. And the only other thing I can think of is if the play was going on and an extra player from Riverside stepped on the field, and that's what they're calling. Then it's during the play. I've got all my bases covered. So we're going to move it back as the referees allow me to make my explanation when Corey comes up here. So it's 1st down and 15 for Riverside. Jones hands it straight up the middle. Gain of 2. 4:38 to go. Gain of 2 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 13. Hurry up offense for the Tigers. Jones brings them out quickly. Fullerton switches around defensively. Jones looks over the defense that's offered to him. Goes back. Throws over in the corner. Incomplete pass. on the play, and it was there to be picked as he tried to get that to Wilford out in the flat. Wilford had to go over his head, and if the defensive back is looking for the ball, there's an opportunity. Big third down. Yeah, exactly. Corey Neyland just came in and said, don't look to hit somebody, intercept the pass. You were down by the bench, weren't you? Third down and 13. Jones runs down, takes it down, and it'll bring up fourth down for the Hornets. Did you hear an explanation down there?
I did not. I didn't want to go on the field, so.
The only other thing, Corey, what I said is what could have happened where the illegal substitution is, somebody stepped on the field during the play.
Defense has smothered the Tiger offense. Forcing the fourth down.
So, fourth down, Bills will stand at his own 40 with 3:36 to go. High snap, pressure comes. Bills is going to get everybody away. He would have taken it at the 40. It's going to crawl. And they get a really 9 bounce with 3:05 to go. Well, they're in Fullerton territory. Corey Neyland, this is where you take the lampshade off at the party and you sing the song no matter whom you are. You either do it now or you don't go in and say, hey, 3 turnovers, we're only down by 10.
3 turnovers, you're only down by 10. That ain't good enough.
Exactly.
3 turnovers, you're down by 10. You need a score here. You're the second time starting your possession in Riverside territory. They need a score and not just a field goal.
Schmidt comes in. AMD, the deep set back. Hand it up to the front back. Gain of 5 on the play. That's Honore who carries the ball. So he's the up back. Honore's the up back. Andreas Missick Duncombe. AMD is the deep back. Second down and 5 for the Hornets. They hand it off to AMD. AMD gets hit. If they give him anything, they're going to give him a cross down to the 43. Gain of 2 on the play.
And this is 4-down series for Fullerton, so it's a good job of running this clock out to get down to the end of the second quarter. And I take that back. You need a score. It can be a field goal. You get the ball to start the second half, and you got some momentum going.
So you'll take the 3?
Yeah, I take the 3 if they get in position.
Okay. They're going to let the ball go to the 2-minute timeout. With 2 minutes to go here in the first half, it's the Riverside Tigers 10, your Fullerton College Hornets 0, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Last night, your Fullerton College soccer team walked through the OEC and gets ready for the state playoffs. And I say state playoffs now, Corey, because you win the prelims, and that's what these are. You can get to play for the state title. You got to get out of the first round. They should have a bye on Wednesday. The way we think it works, they're number 8 here in South. The first 8 all get byes. That means next Saturday here at Fullerton College, there should be soccer for the men on Hornet Radio. So we'll see if that happens next Saturday night. Ryan Osborn says nobody's given it time. This is all speculation. Could be a night game next Saturday night with soccer. Big third down. Schmidt in a shotgun. Third down and 4. Corey Neyland says this is 4-down territory. Take that short pass if you can get it. Bills goes into the slot from the backfield. Bills goes in motion from left to right. They go to throw it to the flat. Kavion gets it. It gets swallowed alive.
Oh, my Ava. My goodness, that was beautiful. I mean, you go, and the problem with that play is you go side to side. That's not getting you anything. That play didn't work last week. So you got to get the ball up the field, and that was just an outstanding tackle by an outstanding player. 21 tackles coming into the season, 3 pass breakups. That was just tremendous on a 4th and 5.
So, Corey, the punt team came out there, and now we've got timeout by Riverside. So the Hornets are going to be content to be down by 10
If they don't get a turnover.
if they don't get a turnover.
And they could have had a turnover. I'm going to speak.
They
in-
should have.
I'm going to speak in what ifs right now. They could have had a turnover on that if Mo goes for a pick and Brian Crooks had his hands up at the same time. Hands up, go for that pick. That would have been 6. The defense has played well in this first half, holding the best offense in the state to only 10 points thus far.
Marquise Monroe will stand at the 10 for your Riverside Tigers.
Riverside expecting a fake.
Looking for the Tim Burns play. We don't get the Tim Burns play. Deep. Kicked, and they're going to mark it out at, wow, the 15-yard line. At the 15. Corey, I thought it was further down than that. The angle must have been, I couldn't figure it out from here.
Must have been sharp.
Yeah, it really does. I didn't think Riverside was going to end up with such good field position with 1:48 to go. Jones comes out with Pearson at running back. We get motion on Riverside. There's the flag. I mean, you can't hide when you go out there and you look. As Mava makes his move, he says, hey, I'm only 212, so you can't throw a flag on me. Ross Nixon, the third. Oops. To the near side of the field. Jones going deep down the middle of the field, shoving off, turn, push, flag on the play. There's a second one on the play as they tried to get the ball to Cox, and there's going to be interference against the Hornets.
Problem with that play is the ball landed, Jones grabs him. All he has to do is turn his head and turn around, and there's no call there. Good play by Riverside. Just throw it up. And Jones relies too much on his speed, as Johnson is saying here. Too much on his speed. He can run with him. Problem is, you have to start backing up because that's just a simple fly route down the seam. You back up, back up, back up. You move forward, you don't get called for the penalty.
First down and 10. Omar Hammond comes out to the near side of the field. Jones goes back again. Has the middle of the field. Jones going deep one more time, deep down the field. And there's nothing there for the simple reason that Dominic Cox stopped his route. And Jones said, you need to keep running, baby. I'll throw it far enough.
And here's the thing. Thaddeus did the exact thing he needed to do. He backs up, and there's no way to go because Cox isn't getting past. He's 5 yards down the field. He can come up and make a play.
Should be second down. It is. They flip it. Jones says, I've tried a couple times. Watch for the delay. Here comes Jones. Once again, this side of the field on the money, and that's the thing. Ball is in. Ball comes out. Hornets should have it.
And Mo Gamage comes up with not an interception, but a fumble.
And Corey, they're not calling it a fumble.
And Elvis comes off of the bench, and there's a penalty called.
They just signaled it stays with Riverside. They're not calling it a fumble. They're saying they already looked at the coaches and said it's staying with the Riverside. They're calling him down.
They're going to talk. There was no whistle.
No. If they're calling him down, and this is going to be down and unsportsmanlike against the Hornets.
That was Elvis coming off the sideline.
So they do not call it a fumble. It'd be interesting. The coaches aren't complaining about that, Corey.
No, because it was. It was an obvious unsportsmanlike conduct.
No, they're not complaining about no fumble, is what I'm saying.
Well, you know when you get exasperated? Yeah, when you get exasperated, when the calls just aren't going to get there, that's what that is.
Well, and the other thing is, so we've got it from our camera person. The receiver was down before the ball came out. That's what Ryan told you, right?
Yeah.
Throw it out to the flat. Turn, missed tackle. And taken all the way down, and a nice catch by Branch.
You say a missed tackle, I say a better run.
I say missed tackle.
Not a missed tackle. That was a better run by Branch. That was a spin out. Actually, not Bruins on the spin. That was a better play by the running back to spin out of that. You got to give the running back credit on that. And there's a flag on the Riverside side. Tom Kraft in his 14th season, champions last year, runner-ups the year before that. The last time Riverside beat Fullerton was 2 years ago in the in the SoCal Finals, 31-17. They then go up and lose to San Mateo. Last year in a repeat, they take San Mateo for the title.
So it should be unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah.
So they threw it on the bench, so it should be unsportsmanlike conduct.
And if you were playing field position on the punt with 1:55 to play and the ball in Riverside territory, it's kind of iffy on why you would punt that away, because you know Riverside's going to try to score anyway. Why not go for that on 4th down? If you don't get it, you don't get it.
Yeah, yeah. So it'll make it 2nd and 15 for the Tigers. Jones with an empty backfield. Jones looks over at the bench, trying to find everything that's going on. The Hornets are coming. It's an all-out blitz. Jones drops it there. Missed tackle. Should be touchdown, Riverside.
And why it was a missed tackle, Mark, is because the Riverside wide receiver comes back and pushes the Fullerton defender out of the way so he can't make the tackle, and the score's 6 for Riverside. So again, 54 seconds left. It took them 1 minute to go down the field from their 15-yard line. So that's 6. Again, for Dominic Cox, his 11th touchdown of the season.
So unsportsmanlike conduct. So it was taunting after the touchdown. But Corey, at this stage of the game with 44 to go, if you were to tell me the Hornets were going to spot Riverside 17, I'd say the picnic is over. The ants have invaded our food.
So Marin, excuse me.
Ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good. With 54 seconds to go, it's the Tigers 17, the Hornets 0, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. And I know, Corey, what we talked about on that punt. Let's be realistic. If you're a true Hornet fan, which I know everybody is, we've seen the success here. you knew coming into this game, the only thing there was a bowl game. Why don't you ruin their season? So we're going to do things out of the norm. We're not going to play this like a close to the vest game because we got nowhere to go for Christmas. So let's go for it. Or Thanksgiving. Oh, I'm starting it too soon for you? Okay. And they haven't. They played it like, oh, if we win, we're going someplace. Yeah, to Bakersfield. Maybe. So be critical of me. I don't understand it. Pooch kick right down the middle. Picked up at the 39. Up the middle. Turn the corner. Keep on running. All the way down to the 30.
So Elvis, he goes 20. He goes 30. He goes 34 yards on the return to give Fullerton a chance with 3 timeouts remaining.
And 46 seconds.
We'll say it a third time.
Okay.
They have to score on this drive. This is a 4-down territory for Fullerton on this drive.
Can I ask you something, though, on a have to score, though? I mean, do you forego the field goal when you say this now and say, no, you need a touchdown?
You need a touchdown, you'll take a field goal.
Okay, all right. Make sure you're with us. So offsetting penalties.
Really?
Offsetting penalties. And you know what I do if I'm Riverside? I kick the exact same kick.
Yeah, because you go deep, you don't score.
Yeah, yeah. That's offsides. That's a flag. That should be a flag. If it's not, I'm surprised. Did they throw a flag down there?
They did not throw a flag.
They didn't throw a flag.
No.
That's illegal motion.
Yes, it was.
How can you not throw a flag on that? The down person moved 4 yards before the kick.
They want lunch. Hot dog was good, Mark.
Wow.
So you have to score here.
Run it straight up the middle. So it looks like, Corey, that they're going to decline your offer as they take a timeout with 34 seconds to go.
They're thinking turnovers in that first half. They had 3. They haven't been able to move the ball. So they're thinking get into halftime only down 17, and you're trying to come back in the second half because you get the ball first and you want to come out and play and be aggressive then. Unlike last week against Saddleback where they got the ball first and they had 3 plays that just run, and weren't that dynamic after a strong second quarter, you're going to have to do that in this game to come back. And, again, Riverside average is 59.3. That you hold it to 17. You're thinking you still got a chance.
And you're wearing what, size 29 pants?
I haven't worn 29 pants since the 8th grade, Mike.
Second down and 8. Run it straight up the middle. There's a turn. Go to the outside. AMD refuses to go down. Timeout, Hornets.
$30 yards. Big run.
So Andreas Missick-Duncombe, because I missed his name one time. For me, he'll always be AMD. Gets a big run. And now, Corey, 26 seconds. You've got 2 timeouts. Take 2 shots for the end zone. You got 1 timeout?
One timeout left.
Take-
He took one there.
Okay, so take shot for the end zone.
We would, but what's going to happen is they're going to keep it safe and try to get into field goal territory. You need about 5 more yards because Charles Villarreal, long this season is 52. He's got 1 from 52, 1 from 50. And so you know he's got the leg.
Logan Lester goes far to the left. Aiden Bravo far to the right. Hicks in the slot to the near side of the field. Schmidt at quarterback. First down and 10. 26.7. He rolls away. There's a chip. Throws it out to Kavion. Kavion steps out of bounds at the 31.
And it was an excellent chip by Andreas because Bogar was coming up. He would have had Schmidt, but again, he chips him and allows his quarterback to complete the pass.
Gain of 5 on the play. Bravo goes to the far side of the field. Hicks goes with him. Bills and Logan stays to this side of the field. AMD at running back. Schmidt at quarterback. Second down and 5 for the Hornets. Schmidt feels the pressure. Throws it. Tries to go back shoulder. Incomplete pass. Flag on a play. And if it's against the Hornets, it pulls them out of range. If it's against Riverside, it's huge.
It puts him in field goal range. And I think they got, was that?
Let's see which
Sagayo.
way it goes.
Yeah, they get it. I don't know if it was hands to the face.
Well, they shoved a lot after the play.
No, I think it was, I'm going to say hands to the face, and they got that penalty.
So it was pushing after the play, Corey, and the Hornet didn't react to it, but I thought it was going to be one of those.
Yeah, it was during the play.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be one of those, oops, it's on you. So they move it all the way down to the 15 with 17.7. Corey says, hey, if you could get 3, you're only down by a couple touches. If for some reason you luck in for 7, it's a good first half. Honore comes running off the bench. Schmidt tells him what it was. I formation for the Hornets. Schmidt goes back. He has time. He steps out. He's got to throw it now. 7.9 seconds. And Corey, you got 17 seconds to go. You have to realize what you have on the field time-wise.
Nixon was giving him chase. He had Honore. The safety fell down. Honore was open for a split second in the end zone. He keeps the ball, doesn't turn over. That's important. You got 1 timeout left, so you can go to the middle of the field. Everything is open in this 7.9 seconds.
Honore and AMD in the backfield. Schmidt at quarterback. I formation, 17. He goes back. He has time. Here comes the pressure again. Flips it to the backside. Incomplete pass. So here comes the field goal.
I'm rethinking my decision of kicking the field goal.
I go for it.
Especially after those last 2 plays. You had your secondary, you had one-on-one coverage. But again, this is the, you know, I'll stick with it. You need points. You got to get points.
They'll spot it at the 15. You add 10, it's a 25-yard attempt. Kick is blocked.
You know,
Flag on the play, but it's after the play.
and that's where you use your timeout, Mark, because we were rethinking going for the field goal. Maybe the coaches were too. Use your timeout and say, what'd you say, don't play it safe? Let's go for 6. And that's the 4th block of the season of a punt or a field goal extra point. That's going to go against Fullerton. That's going to end the half. And the way Riverside was coming after him, use that timeout. And you're
So that brings us to the end of the first half. The Hornets down by 17, a few turnovers, big plays given up, and the season continues to tremble downwards as we're at the half right now. It's the Tigers 17, the Hornets 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Well, Ryan Osborn was supposed to come over here at halftime. I think Ryan probably took off running down that direction and said, what, did you see him going that way? Is he heading towards the parking lot?
That's all on you.
No.
You have a halftime guest, though.
Oh, I do? Oh, so I get to talk volleyball? If Ryan doesn't show up? Go stick Ryan, stick your head out there, because Ryan said he was going to come on at halftime. I will talk to the coach if Ryan ain't coming on. But
Talk to the coach instead. I told him he was coming on anyway last week. I forgot to tell you. You're welcome.
there's Ryan right behind me, so we'll tell Ryan. Ryan, come on here. You get talk a little volleyball, a little soccer. Bring the volleyball coach on. Let him talk to you too. He's in the booth. So I'm going to get out of the way for a second. I'm going to go outside in some fresh air here on SportsNetUSA.net.
And just like Mark said, we are here at the half as Fullerton College and Riverside, currently a 17-0 advantage for the Riverside City College Tigers. And as you've been watching and listening throughout the afternoon, Fullerton College, a little bit of trouble on the offensive side of the football, trying to get themselves moving up the field. 3 interceptions so far for the Hornets. On the other side, the Hornets looking for the opportunity to take it away from Riverside. And as we continue into the second half, well, first let's get to halftime and what we've got going around the entire state of California, how things are looking across the state. Let's start with the rankings, as that's going to play a very big factor into that scoreboard that we were looking at throughout the entirety of the CCCAA, or I should say the 3C2A. Now, you look at Mount Sac, they have 18 first-place votes, 474 points to their record so far in their resume. Thank you very much. As we get some of the halftime stats here over to my left-hand side, Mount Sac stays at number 1. That has been the case for the last 4 weeks combined. Riverside City College right behind them with 1 first-place vote. They're 8-1, 449 points overall in the JCAB football poll that came out on November the 11th. Now, Mount Sac, Riverside, both of those two teams have stayed at 1-2 for the last 4 weeks. San Mateo, prior to their loss 4 weeks ago, was the previous number 1. They stay at number 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 have all stayed exactly the same, as Butte will stay at number 5 along with Golden West at number 4, which is very interesting in Southern California. Remember, Mount Sac and Golden West are in the same conference. Riverside City is standing alone as the conference champion. Doesn't matter what ends up happening today across the 3C2A. Riverside last week, with their win, ends up locking up the tiebreaker across all the teams that they have faced with their 8-1 record. El Camino with a 7-2 record. They are number 6, with Modesto sitting at number 7, a 6-2 record for them. They previously were at number 7. They stayed there. El Camino with a big win last week in their conference puts them up to number 6 from number 9. Fresno City goes to number 8. That's exactly where they were last week, but San Diego Mesa is the biggest team that ends up dropping a few spots. They go from number 6 down to number 9. That's something huge because they lost to these very same Riverside City College Tigers last week. Remember, Riverside City is sitting at number 2 in the 3C2A, and they are top 5 in the nation as well. But San Diego Mesa, with the loss there, not only loses the overall head-to-head matchup, but they lose the tiebreaker and the opportunity to win conference as well. So even if Riverside City had lost this week, it wouldn't have mattered, as they would have still had the tiebreaker over San Diego Mesa due to the head-to-head win last week. Now American River slots in at number 10. They are 6-3. And then Canyon's at 7-2 and Ventura at 6-3. Now, if you're very new to the 3C2A and how the rankings end up working out, it's not necessarily just the overall rankings of 1 through 15 or 1 through 25. You got to remember it's 4 playoff bids for Southern California, 4 playoff bids for Northern California. It is 3 conference champions and an at-large bid. So a team may be sitting at number 8 or number 9 in the overall rankings, but they still have a chance because of the way that things work out in terms of conference champions and the at-large bid. Remember last year, Fullerton College, Riverside City, Mount Sac, and Golden West all were the top 4 teams in Southern California, and it wasn't even close. And it came down to the 2 teams that won their champion or conference championships knew that they were going to get in, and Mount Sac was going to be the at-large bid, plain and simple. Fullerton beats Riverside. They win their conference championship, so they get an automatic bid. Mount Sac, by way of winning their championship over top of Golden West, gets in because of the conference championship. But Riverside City had a better record and better resume than Golden West, who also was only sitting there with 2 losses in general, and Riverside City had just the 1 loss, and that was to Fullerton College. So the way that things ended up working out in favor of the Hornets is that Fullerton gets in as the conference champion. Riverside City goes in at the at-large bid. Golden West, with a 2-loss team and one of the best teams in state, doesn't go in just because of the way that the conference champions and the at-large bid works out. So these teams that are sitting at 8, 9, 10, 11, they still have a shot depending on who wins the different conference championships and who ends up as the at-large bid. Now, that being said, let's finish out the top 15 in California, and then we'll get to some of those out-of-town scoreboards and see what the conference rankings are as well. So we were talking about American River at 6-3. They still have a chance. Canyon's at 7-2, and Ventura at 6-3 at 10, 11, and 12. Saddleback is number 13, Foothill is number 14, and Sequoias is number 15. So 6-3, 6-2, and 6-3 for those 3 teams. Now, we switch over to the out-of-town scoreboards, and we'll also give you a couple games that you're going to have to pay attention to as the day wears on. Now, up north, you start with Los Medanos and Chabot. Chabot with a 7-0 lead going into the second quarter against Los Medanos. Another big game that is going on in Northern California, Reedley and Fresno City. Remember, Reedley, in their last 8 years, has really become a program to reckon with, going into the American Conference and then also playing teams in the Northern Division as well. They have been doing a very good job of making sure that they continue to build that program. They are one of the teams currently playing at the moment. Reedley and Fresno City just underway there, no score. Up north, Santa Rosa and Shasta, no score as they finish up the first quarter of play. Now down here in Southern California, San Diego Mesa is trying to make a case for themselves, remember, as the at-large bid, and they need to get a decisive win. I don't think they can afford to end up just barely beating Palomar, Palomar being the opponent that they play this week. But I think they need to come out and have at least a 3-4 score win over top of Palomar to give them the best of resumes. They only have the 2 losses, and those 2 losses, if I remember correctly, last week against Riverside, and then earlier this season against Saddleback. So those are 2 very good quality opponents in their conference and in their division that they end up losing to. So if those are their only 2 losses, they have a very good resume that they can present, but they've got to beat Palomar by a decent score. Now, a historic rivalry up north is American River and Feather River, and that goes back over 50 years. American River 7, Feather River 0. Remember, American River is sitting at number 10 in the overalls, and with a or just about 3 minutes left in the first quarter of play. It's American River 7 and Feather River 0. San Francisco, if you remember a few years back, they end up winning a national championship in the state of California, kind of ran through the entire state en route to a big national championship title, and they end up having kind of a down year this year. They have 4 losses this season, and they are currently trailing Diablo Valley, who is on the upswing at 10-7 with 2:37 left to go in the first quarter there. Now, everything else that we're going to have to pay attention to is going to be later on tonight. In terms of bowl games overall, Santa Barbara and Bakersfield at Bakersfield will begin at 4 p.m. Bakersfield with a very strong contention for a bowl game coming up next week. They will start at 4. Then we mentioned Santa Ana earlier in the broadcast. They play College of the Desert. Don't forget that all their games, their home games, have been brought to you on sportsnetusa.net. So Santa Ana with a win would also get an opportunity to play either for the American Division Championship or have themselves a bowl game as well. Chaffey and Victor Valley will start at 5, and then Long Beach and Citrus at 5 p.m. as well. Now, matchups you really have to pay attention to in this division, Mount San Jacinto and Saddleback, that's a 6 p.m. matchup. That's when those two teams start off against one another. Saddleback trying to just sneak their way into the at-large bid. They need a lot of help for that to happen, so we will see whether or not they're able to get there. But they're going to need quite a bit of help and a decisive victory over top of Mount San Jacinto. Canyons and Ventura, that's a huge one. Remember, those two teams are sitting in the top 12. Canyons needs to get a win. Now, Ventura is honoring their veterans in addition to the 1999 national championship team at Ventura. So that's going to be an emotional night for the program, and they are trying to get that win over Canyons, which would allow them to not only get themselves a chance at a conference championship, but also possibly into the playoff. Now, Mount Sac Golden West, that's the one that everyone's paying attention to across the state, because the way that that will work out, and if you're looking at it from Mount Sac and Golden West perspective, if Mount Sac wins the conference championship and they win the game tonight, it really won't matter, because Mount Sac is going to get in anyways, even if they lose this game, unless they end up going out losing this game by like 50 points. Mount Sac will be in the will be in the Southern California playoff regardless of result. They will be in as either the conference champion if they beat Golden West, or they're going to be the 9-1 at-large bid in Southern California. Very similar to what it was last year. Just last year, Mount Sac was at Golden West. This time, it is Mount Sac hosting Golden West. So Mount Sac, again, with a win over Golden West, will be the conference champion, and they will be in the state playoff any way that you look at it. Now, if they lose to Golden West will become the conference champion, and Mount Sac will end up in the state playoffs just because they are that good and have that good of a resume. So that's the biggest one that everyone's looking forward to. As we take a look at the overall standings across, let's go Southern California to start. We were talking about that Mount Sac and Golden West conference. Specifically, that is the National Central. Mount Sac, 6 games played to this point. They have a 9-0 record. They have won each of their last 9 games, as that implies, of course. But Golden West with a 6-0 in conference record, 8-1 outside overall. They ended up having 1 loss in their preseason. That's the only mark on their resume. Long Beach is right behind them at 4-2. They don't have a chance at a conference championship, nor do they have a chance at getting into the state playoffs. Now, as we continue here in Southern California, the National Northern, El Camino, Canyons, and Ventura each looking at things from the outside, trying to figure out what's going to happen. So the way that it pans out is Ventura cannot win the conference championship. They are sitting at 2 games behind El Camino. And El Camino, of course, having one of their best seasons in years. The El Camino Warriors with an excellent chance to get themselves into the state playoff. And the way that this shakes out is that for El Camino, they actually already have the tiebreaker over Canyons with a 27-26 victory on October 17th. They just beat Canyons at the final buzzer to get themselves that win and that tiebreaker. So the way it would have to work out is that Canyons would need a win to go up to 6-1. El Camino would end up dropping their game that they have later on today. But if you're looking at it from Canyons' perspective, you can't win the conference championship. Of course, El Camino currently up over top of Allen Hancock 28-0 with 1 minute left in the first quarter of play. They have won a conference championship and already have their berth into the state playoff. Riverside, the two current clinches in the state playoff in Southern California at the moment, Riverside is in, El Camino is also in. So those two teams are in. Mount Sac is basically already assured of getting into the state playoff regardless of results. So that's 3 of them. El Camino is already in. Riverside is already in. Mount Sac, you can pencil them in as well. The question is, will Golden West be there? So as we go to the second half, we have some of the halftime stats here in front of us. We bring back Corey Neyland and Mark Pavlovich. Guys, you take a look at Fullerton College. So far, their offense has not – oh, I'm going to give this over to you in a second here, Mark. But so far, their offense has been lacking. But we talked about it defensively. This is one of the best defensive units we have seen from this squad in years, and they're proving it by keeping the best offense in California so far in relative check.
Yes. That's right, Ryan. They have. So when you look at those first half stats, I mean, it's one of those things where you look at it and 17-0, you're thinking blowout. You're thinking Riverside, and they are in control of the game. But you're thinking Riverside 17-0. This is 5 minutes ago in the first quarter. But no, this is half for a team that averages 59 points a game against a team that gives up 14 a game. And that Fullerton College defense is playing well. They're playing not outstanding, but they're playing well. They're playing good, as Riverside's got 17 points, but they've scored on one short field touchdown, one hectic fast break type of touchdown to end the half. In that first half of play, 126 total yards for Fullerton, 203 for Riverside. Brady Jones, who puts up 400 yards passing per game, only 138 in the first half, 1 touchdown. Hasn't really got his rhythm. Andre Branch, 4 carries, 58 yards, that long run of 51. So he was held in check until that long run. Bo Bruins, 3 for 16 yards receiving. Dominic Cox, 2 for 27 and a touchdown. Ross Nixon, the third, 3 for 70 yards in that first half. Offensively for the Hornets, well, that's about sums it up offensively for the Hornets. Defensively, as we're looking at it, defensive stats for Riverside. And I want to apologize for Isaiah Bogar. I confused him with someone else who was track and field for Riverside last year, who was one of the best in the state of California. So I do apologize to Bogar and his family. Wasn't him, my bad. I don't know why I wrote it down. Well, I was tired.
You know what?
That's
If you're going to
okay.
mistake him for something, I like that you mistaked him for that. I mean, that's a positive, baby.
I wrote it down, and for some reason you couldn't tell me otherwise. So 9-7 for Riverside. I apologize, my man.
He's probably strutting around right now going, yeah, I'm good in track and field.
No, I know, and the reason I know this because I asked him, and he's like, "No, that wasn't me." I was like, "Dude, come on, man, give me some." So for Riverside, Mayava, 5 total tackles and a tackle for loss. He led the first half in tackles. 3 interceptions in the first half for Riverside. Chapman had 1, Anderson had 1, and Silva Viella had 1 as well. Bogart did have 2 tackles for loss. So as we said, Fullerton's offense,
Non-existent?
there we go.
Thank you.
Fullerton's defense
Smothering?
playing well.
Smothering.
They need to score a touchdown or 2 if they want to win this ball game. They've got 6 on the season. Jeremy Naborn has a sack. Des Palomalu has a sack to lead the team. Jeremy Naborn, 1 sack 9 tackles for loss on the season. The team's leading tackle for loss guy is Ethan Charpentier with 10.5. So Palomalu, Naborn, and Charpentier, they'll be all conference this season, along with Antoine Johnson Jr. Mark, he only has 1 tackle and 1 pass breakup, but he's done more on the defensive side of the ball, simply being smart and directing his unit on that defensive end to play efficient in that first half. The leading tackler in the first half was Sean Malcolm. He had 6 with a tackle for loss. Mo Gamage had 2 pass breakups. We thought he forced a fumble, had a strip late in the first half, but he was not. Ryan Osborn confirmed that the receiver was down. So defensively, they're playing well, but as it has been this season,
Just not enough.
the defense needs to come up big one more time and get points on the board for the Hornets.
So, for all of you parent supporters, the families, the friends, and everybody else, got asked by one of the parents whose family's played here for the last 20 years. Playoffs? No. Bowl game? I'm going to put it this way. Possibility.
No.
Corey, Ryan, and I believe that the Hornets will not get asked. Yet Ed Ford, who runs SportsNetUSA.net, went through all the scenarios, believes they will get asked. So make sure you check the homepage to see if a bowl game's happening. If it is, SportsNetUSA.net will be there. Don't forget, when we talk about playoff games, next Saturday on Hornet Radio, Greg Avilas and his soccer team, the team that some of us picked to win the men's side early in the season, and other experts here in the booth have also said that about this team. They came up big time short last year. I think they'll move on this year, and I'll stick with them. I think if I get lucky with the setups, with the way things are laid out, I could get that Southern match for the men and that Southern match for the women. Now, Corey knows the match I'd like to get in the South for the women. 2 of the teams that I currently am involved with here on the community college level. But right now, let's get back to a little more community college football here on Sportsnet, USA.net. You know what I need, Corey Neyland? I need somebody to run this one back for a touchdown, either Peters or Bills back in the end zone.
And I'll qualify this. You get no credit for if they do. No credit at all.
I don't?
None at all.
Okay. All right.
Not for this one.
All right. Corey Neyland's already naysaying me here on
No,
Sports.
I'm not saying you just get no credit because they need somebody to run it back. Okay?
And you know what? I don't even get a chance. So it goes out of the end zone. It has been a struggle, but let's be very realistic. Corey, I told you at the beginning of the season when I talked to Phil Austin and Brian Crooks, the co-head coaches, they warned us of this sort of season. And we all thought it wasn't going to happen. Corey's saying, Mark, don't go there. Because you don't ever believe them anyway, do you?
No.
I didn't think so.
It's always going to be a great season preseason for them. They're always going 7-3 and above.
Toby Schmidt comes in at quarterback. AMD at running back. We'll see what he can do for your Hornets. They need to find some way to score. AMD backs his way over the 30 out to the 32.
He had a strong 3 carries in the first half. His long run was 26 yards.
Second down and a long 3. Grayson Richardson in the slot to the near side of the field for the Hornets. Grayson getting back in the game. Give it to AMD. AMD gets sacked. They're going to give him a yard on the play. It's going to bring up a 3rd down. And there's the flag. This should be against Riverside. We'll see if that's the way it works out. I knew they were tangled up, and a Riverside player came out and gave a punch against a Hornet player. So that's going to add on 15 yards for a personal foul against the Tigers.
I think it may have been for some choice words as well. 'Cause
Could have been.
He was trying to untangle himself. Didn't see a punch, just the arms flailing out. Didn't see that punch, but we heard something up here.
Miles Brown goes to the far side of the field for your Hornets. Richardson stays in the game. Schmidt hands it off left tackle. This time there's nothing there. And AMD gets eaten alive. It sort of looked like a swarm of mosquitoes all around him.
Nixon was in there, and what Riverside is doing is, in the first half, they dared Fullerton to throw the ball. They had 8 in the box. Now they're playing the linebackers a little bit more off the ball because down 17-0, they're expecting Fullerton to throw the ball a little bit more.
13:26 to go. Second down and 11. Schmidt turns around, looks at, hopefully can find something there. Hasn't thrown it yet. Schmidt has time. Gets yanked down by the helmet. That's going to be a personal foul. And how the young man, now I hope he's frustrated with himself, Corey, and doesn't think it's a bad foul because he grabbed the side of the helmet.
Yeah, he was frustrated on that play. Mackay was there. He was there. All he did is he got his hands in the wrong position. So that's some frustration on him.
Face mask. Grab the side of the helmet.
And what you think, but the game plan for Fullerton, it hasn't been horrible because they've kept the ball out of Riverside's hands. They've been able to move the ball, but the execution and those 3 interception turnovers in the first half has really been devastating.
First down and 10 for the Hornets across midfield. AMD gets it again. Shregs one, shregs two, shreds a couple people. 10 yards on the play. First down as they move the change. Honore comes in. AMD, after a nice run, goes to the bench.
Missouri City High School in Texas. Missouri City, Texas.
First down and 10 for the Hornets.
Hightower High School.
Bevenu bills to the near side of the field. Honore in the backfield. Bravo to the far side of the field. First down and 10 at the 35. Honore goes off right tackle. Gets nothing.
And sometimes you'll need that rhythm. We talk about rhythm for quarterbacks. Sometimes you got to get in a rhythm as a running back. Again, you have 2 solid runs in that drive. You have 3 altogether for AMD, and then you come out of the ball game. Let him eat a little bit more, see if he can break something again, and then when he's worn out, you've got Honore, you've got Vakapuna, both there as well who can do the same thing.
Remember, the Hornets had a field goal attempt blocked in the closing seconds of the first half. They'd be down by 14. Flipped over. Toby Schmidt gets hit. He's down. Flag on the field. And Schmidt is down in pain.
Jesus Venegas, 6'4", 255 out of Modern Day High School. And that's a reactionary flag. Did you see any contact to the head?
No. They called a personal foul. The line judge to the near side threw the flag, Corey. The back judge who was there did not.
I missed it. Did he land on him?
No. He hit him straight forward.
Yeah, that's a tough call against Riverside because I didn't see it either. That's just a reactionary flag.
So the Hornets will take what they can get with 12:59 left in this third quarter. Up the middle, Honore bounces off, drops his head, falls forward, gets a gain of 2 on the play.
Pushed back by David Lene.
So they're going to give him a second down and 8. We get a jump. That's a flag. Should be against Riverside.
Again, the offensive line, just reach out and tap them when they jump. That's all you have to do because they can get reset. So if you tap them while they're in the neutral zone, that's an offsides encroachment on the defense, and that's Bulgar. But again, Riverside's not going to be happy because they're going to say he got back.
Well, nobody from Riverside's happy because all these yards as we get a timeout on Riverside. And Tom Kraft's going to have a conversation with his team going, wait a second, guys. They are doing absolutely nothing except painting us with yellow. Not that they're calling us chicken. We just got to get back to playing down to earth, and let's get rid of this, oh, well, we're going to mouth off, be nasty. Something that we've always heard in Riverside Fullerton games could be either team.
Yeah.
We know that comes up. And, Corey, when you've got a stranglehold on a team, don't give them anything.
Don't give them anything, you know. And if you're Fullerton, you said go out. This is the last game of the season, possibly. You go out like the Wild Bunch.
Yeah.
You go out and try to give everything you have. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. It ends like the movie. But if it does, hey, you may get a bowl game. You may travel to Bakersfield or Long Beach or wherever else you want to spend a
That's a
lovely
long
Saturday
climb in
November.
Veterans Stadium, man. I hope they got new elevators. You guys going to have to drop about 2,000 yards of XLR.
Riverside leads this all-time series 39-30-1.
2nd and 3 after the flag. Schmidt has time, throws across the middle. A Hakey comes out.
But you know what? That one was the obvious one against Chapman. That one was actually a penalty against Chapman, and he knows it because he spun him around.
So that is going to move. And you know what? If you're a Fullerton fan, you're finally saying, you know, it's about time we got the calls. They're going to take an entire year and put them into one game. That means we're getting out of here at 3 o'clock. Ryan Osborn, I thought he was saying something to us. He was pointing at his ear saying something. I thought he was saying something. Corey Neyland, I thought you were going to go, oh, is it on here? So, 1st and goal for your Hornets. Straight dive play. Off left tackle. Get across the 5. They're going to mark him down at the 5. Officials blowing the whistle, telling everybody, hey, just play football. Just play football. 2nd and goal. Schmidt rolls out, throws to the flat, touchdown Hornets.
Jordan Gatewood, there's your tight end.
So Gatewood gets into the end zone with 10:50 to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Hornets trying to sneak back in this. Ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good. Offsides against Riverside, so they'll walk over and ask him, and Brian Crooks will tell him, no, we'll take it on the kickoff if we can. So it's good. It'll be assessed. No, it'll be declined. Therefore, the point is good with 10:50 to go. Well, the Hornets, with a lot of help by the officials, and a pass to a lost spirit in Fullerton College football, the tight end.
His 5th reception of the season. 1st touchdown of the season. 5 receptions now for 28 yards. Fullerton has had excellent drives in this game thus far. up to a point. They've got 3 turnovers to stop those drives. This one has been able to get into the end zone and really make this a game. If the defense can come up big, well,
anything can happen.
Yeah, they
and
got a
Corey,
chance.
now you look at that field goal that got blocked. If for some reason he'd been lucky enough to make it, it'd be a 1-touchdown game right now.
Yeah.
So the Hornets all of a sudden get a little more spirit on the sideline. The fans start to get a little mouthy in the grandstands. Stutter step, pooch kick in the middle. It's going to hit at the 15. Players down, dives out to about the 25. They'll give him the 25 or the 24. We'll see where they're going to mark him at. And once again, nice flip to the referee from the white hat.
We set that defense real quick. Zuniga, Boyd, Bergueno, and Harvey up front. Charpentier, Naborn, and Malcolm, the backers.
Ball spotted at the 24. Feeling better about myself with my eyesight, seeing that one. First down and 10 for the Tigers. Tigers looking to go deep. They've got time. Quarterback can run. He does, picks up 7 on the play. And you've got to like Brady Jones, because Brady Jones looks, and then realizes time's running out. I got to head for home.
Yeah, 6'4" from Vista Murrieta High School. He doesn't force things down the field. 40 touchdowns coming in, only 6 picks.
Wilford to the near side of the field. Jones at quarterback. Second and a 4. Jones goes back again. We're going to get a flag. This should be against Riverside. Get a motion flag. And there it is.
And while they're doing that, mark the safeties are Perry Williams IV and Antoine Johnson Jr. The corners on the near side is Brian Meredith. The far side is Mo Gamage.
So they'll take it back to the original line of scrimmage. It'll bring up second down and 10. Owens, near side of the field. Cox in the slot next to him. Jones empties the backfield. Hornets trying to keep him in there. Throw it where there's nobody and then run over a defensive back. And Corey, you look at Andre Branch. Quick, fast, but he is also a power back.
Yeah, and you like the way the play was designed, because it was designed for the outside backer, Sean Malcolm, to come in, and he bit.
Hand it off to Branch. Branch turns the corner, refuses to go down, gets a gain of 7, maybe 8 on the play for Riverside.
Perry Williams IV comes out holding his right arm. That is Justin Jones, wearing number 1 is a safety. Out is Harvey. In is Caleb Smith, number 58 in gray.
Owen stays on the near side of the field along with Cox. Quick little flip to the far side of the field. Short of a first down.
Got to be careful if you're the Hornets right now, because Riverside's finding a rhythm.
Yeah, and you really have to watch out front, because now they have Marcus Monroe. They give it to Monroe straight up the middle, and he gets a first down for the Tigers. They're moving the ball methodically up the field all the way to the 47.
Yeah, and methodically, they've sped it up too. I mean, they sped it up. They really know what they want to do offensively.
Branch stays in the backfield along with Monroe. Jones throws out to the flat over here. Nice block taken right there for a gain of 8. And what you like on that fact, Corey, is that you have Bo Bruins coming back and making that initial block for the Tigers. Second down and 4, right at the 45. Jones keeps it himself, looks for a block. Jones says, and there's a holding flag, and that holding flag should be on Jackson Owens that went. Corey, let me check out this material. Oh, I forgot to let go.
If he can get his hands in, that doesn't get called. He can hold on the chest with his hands in. You cannot hold when you got to say, yeah, that's nice fabric, care to dance on both arms on the outside.
So that's going to move it back, as they do call that an Owens, and that was available to Corey and I. here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Because if we saw it,
Everybody saw it. So it's from the spot of the foul. It moves it back to the 47. We all picked a number and came up wrong. Jackson Owens, near side of the field. Brady looks back. Here comes the pressure. Young man throws. The ball is tipped. Nobody's there. And, Corey, they brought the heat that time by defense.
because they needed to. If they don't get a hand on that, I couldn't tell if it was Chef or not. But if that's completed,
Goodbye.
yeah. Excellent play call, better defense.
Ashtani now comes in as a wide receiver for Riverside. Fullerton looks like they're coming. We get a flinch on top, but a flinch at the line of scrimmage by defense. Nothing called. Cooper, Cox out the far side. Throw it back to that side. It's going to be short. It's going to bring up a 4th down.
And they bring Ethan up the middle, just a straight middle linebacker coming through, make a play he did with the quarterback hurry. And you got to be careful still if you're Fullerton, because this could be a fake.
So the defense does what they were hoping for. Kavion's standing right at the 25, Corey. He's not very deep, so he's not necessarily figures if it's over his head, let it roll in. We'll see what will happen here. A big 4th down. High snap. They come after the kicker. Kavion says, let's let it hit. And it takes that bounce for the Hornets. He touched in the end zone. That's a touchback. There it is. They're going to.
And there's a flag on the play. The officials are going to talk about it.
Well, I think the flag's against the Hornets.
Mm-hmm.
And what I don't get, personal foul against the Hornets. And Brian Crooks is actually, I think Brian's is also like us, because Corey, the first young man that looked like he had his hand on the ball, now we don't have the best of you up here, but it looked like part of his body was in the end zone.
They're going to say because it was first touched before he slid into the end zone, they're going to keep the ball at the half-yard line. That's what they're saying.
Okay.
We're going to have to look up the rule book.
I was going to say, that's a new definition of down in the football. I was always told you had to have control of it. But then what do I know? I'm old. So Max comes back in the game. We'll see if Max can do something. He's got a turnover. So Max Martin in at quarterback. So we get a little illegal procedure. Max, take 3 steps back, fling it out here, and you know, I'm going to look at
Take a chance.
Logan and say, you go find the football, man. Go find the football.
Take a chance, guys.
I'm like that, Corey. I look at Logan and say, I tell you what, dude, I'm throwing the ball at the hash mark at the 15. I'm taking 2 steps and letting it go. You need to beat the defender to the ball. And Riverside backs up a safety, Corey, because I'm almost thinking Riverside now is going, you know what?
Sneak Jordan out.
Max Martin barely gets out. And
well, we've seen all season from Fullerton that when they've been backed up, they've played it safe. So you're going to think they're not expecting anything. Not one play has been a play action or a quick out to anyone. Jordan Gatewood just caught a touchdown from 6 yards out. This would be an excellent opportunity.
And Corey, we've seen a field goal blocked. We've seen punts blocked this year. They take Max and go out again.
And so Riverside is doing what they need to be doing here is they got to realize, let's not move. We don't have to do anything. Even if they pick up only 3 yards, we've got an excellent opportunity here to really put this game away with forcing a punt.
So Riverside closes the door on a non-imaginative 3 plays in a row.
Can't be scared in a situation when you need to have it. You have to get the ball in the air, even if it's a turnover. You're turning the ball over anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if you step back, it's a safety. We've seen, I go for an all-out block if I'm Riverside because we've seen them blocked here. And it's coming down with inside the 28.
And
There's the flag against Fullerton because he knocks the player and steps over the top of him. Therefore, it's taunting and an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. If everybody wants to know the rule, you cannot do that to a downed player. And that's going to give him 15 more yards.
And the offensive play and the offense this game, it hasn't been horrible because they've had decent drives. They've had good drives this game. They've moved the ball well against Riverside. They just weren't able to complete. So since they weren't able to complete and you've had positivity this ball game on offense, why not take that chance? Even you're at the half-yard line. You're giving the ball up anyway. Throw it downfield. If they pick it off 30 yards downfield, they pick it off 30 yards downfield.
First down and 10 at the 15 by a non-movement 3 and then a unacceptable penalty on a player. First down and 10 for Riverside, looking to just shut the door on the Hornets. And basically, let's just run it straight up the middle with Brandon McMaster, who says, you can't stop me. I just dropped my head. I'll run over you. McMaster stays in. I'm handing it to McMaster 3 times in a row. Gain of 6. Hand it to McMaster. McMaster gets stopped. It's down, blow the whistle. Here's the thing that works against you, Corey. You do what you just did. You ran 3 plays. You wasted time for no good reason because you were going to gain nothing if you were the Hornets.
I don't worry about that time in this
I
type
do.
of situation because Riverside can score in 30 seconds. They can score in 10 seconds. You don't mind that. You give them less opportunity to score. Problem is you just got to get
You
lucky.
just gave them an opportunity to score. Fullerton fakes. They go in the corner. Out of the end zone. That's going to bring up a 4th down. I'm Riverside. I'm staying out there. I'm not kicking a field goal.
Now, and
Corey,
see,
I don't agree with this as a Riverside fan. I would say you want them to just shut the door on the Hornets.
yeah, because it's still, if you kick a field goal and you make it, it's still 2 touchdowns. You can luck up on 2 touchdowns. You score a touchdown here and it's 3 scores. They're not scoring 3 times.
They'll spot it at the 16. You add 10, 26-yard attempt with 4:38 to go. Kick is up, and the kick is good. With 4:33 to go in the third quarter, it's the Tigers 20, the Hornets 7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn, don't forget, mention Ryan Osborn. Well, he's going to be around for a little Fullerton College soccer. They like to call it Football Fridays here. on Hornet Radio. The Hornet men are in the playoff hunt. One of the best teams in the country last year. They came up short. More versatile this year. We'll see what they can do. Peters back deep, along with Bills. Kavion takes it at the 5. Looks for an alley. Steps through. Run, baby, run! Run, baby, run! Run, baby, run! Don't get caught! Don't get caught! Oh, damn! Oh.
94 yards. Poor Kavion. Stopped at the 1. Oh, he wanted to get into Keshawn Griffin territory, who has an all-time leading kickoff return for a touchdown.
You like that call, huh? That's one of my better sportsnetusa.net calls.
Oh, my God.
Corey's been around for too many of them. Corey Neyland, okay. First and goal from the 3. Down at the 1. Second and goal. I run over Max and push him in. Oh, my. Flags in the end zone, so let's see what the call may be. This could be devastating to the Hornets if it's against them. We'll wait to see the outcome of the flag here with 3:52 to go. Personal foul against the Hornets.
No, against Riverside.
Against the Riverside. So that'll make it an automatic first down. The Hornets get 4 new ones. Honore the up back. They're going to push Max into the end zone. He's short. Second and goal from about the 6-inch line, I think.
You know what a 14 power is, Mark? Or 15 power? That's where you put Jared Peters in there with Justin Honore and Elvis Vacapuna, and you snap it to Jared Peters and let him score.
You mean what we saw against East LA?
Yes. Ate him up. Bogar.
Loss of 5 on the play. Well, you know what? Sometimes when you get tricky, you outsmart yourself. And Corey Neyland, you can't settle for 3.
Nope.
Max at quarterback, Vacapuna at running back. If I'm Riverside, I sell out. I come out. Toby Schmidt flings it. Knocked down at the goal line. Well, you just took a 97-yard return and did absolutely nothing with it. It's like going to a 5-star restaurant and ordering peanut butter and jelly. Why?
Because they got great.
In this case, they got no jelly. It's kick is up, kick is good.
No grape jelly.
See, this is the problem about being an announcer and a Hornet fan for all these years. We've loved our team way too much, you know? It's like being married all your life. Well, Corey Neyland's just left. We'll see if he comes back. See if Ryan Osborn's still down there running the camera. As it's 20-10, the Hornets were right there on the edge of having Riverside not believe they're where they're at, because Riverside sucked the air out of the stadium to start the game. Everybody thought, oh, here we go again. The defense has played out of their mind. And yet the offense, well, it's not even offensive. So I'm not sure what you would say about it. 2:18 to go. Deep kick. Bobbled at the 2. One tackle missed, 2 tackles missed. Riverside brings it back to the 35. When you needed that stop, you don't get it. Here on Sportsnet, USA.net. I think they thought we were the offensive coordinator. Corey just got scolded for the plays he's calling. I like that. Brady stands back. Middle of the field, all alone. If I don't fall down, they've got him down at the 1. Jackson Owens was running free like a good day during Halloween where everybody there is giving you candy. Or when you walk into that store and they go, what do you want for Christmas?
65 yards.
First and goal for Riverside. Straight dive play, and Riverside gets into the end zone from a yard out.
So 26
So
points.
Anthony Boone. So Dallas Williams is what they're saying. Out of Beaumont High School scored. Ball is spotted, kicked up, and kick is good. With 1:28 to go, it's now Riverside 27, the Hornets 10, here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And even though they scored 3 points, Mark, on that last possession, you count that as the 4th turnover of the ball game for the Hornets. Because you had to have 6 and that extra point. You had to have it. And you turned the ball over after a 97-yard kick return. You basically turned the ball over.
Bills back deep. Peter standing next to him. Little poocher down the middle. Kavion's going to wait for the hop. He gets it. Stuck in the mud at the 20. Now we've got a little ruckus between players.
Jalen Hanford was involved along with Tajay Parker. T.J. Parker and Hanford. Should be against both because there was an action and a reaction.
Yeah.
So I had scores for you, Mark, but I just closed it out. So we'll get some scores for you around the 3C2A. There we go. Up north, Chabot at halftime over Los Medanos, 14-0. Redwoods all over Cabrillo. I don't think these scores have been updated, but 44-9. Glendale and Southwest, LA Southwest, the latest score is 7-7. Starting the third, De Anza looking to having an outstanding season, 26-21 over Siskiyous.
Face mask against Riverside. Dead ball personal foul against Fullerton. They offset.
If it's a dead ball, it's not offset.
So they're calling.
So a face mask during the play, 15 yards, they mark it up. Then
So
dead
they
ball,
mark it
and
back
then
and
they'll
then they
back.
mark it back.
Yeah.
So one may be this, the other one's that. So they do that and they bring it back to the 25. Go ahead, Corey, with the scores if you've got them.
Butte over Sierra, 21-7.
Schmidt comes out at quarterback. The Hornets just gave a huge touchdown away after they could not cash in through the spectacular run back they had a few minutes ago. Hicks goes in motion. They flip it out, and on a 2-foot pass, it's not close to AMD. I like what AMD did. He thought, Corey, because he sort of goes back on his route, wanted to make sure that it wasn't classified as a backwards lateral.
I'm glad
And
the referee
knocked out of
wasn't.
bounds.
I'm glad the referee wasn't in position
Because it would have been.
because it was.
Second down and 10. Up the middle, stopped at the original line of scrimmage.
There's Nixon and, again, Scott. They've both been having an outstanding game, Mark.
Third down, and they gave him a half a yard. I'm not sure how.
Scott out of Vista Del Lago High School in Moreno Valley. And Nixon, he's out of Tuscaloosa Hillcrest High School. And with the win here, Riverside, you've got to think of Nixon maybe Defensive Player of the Year in the SCFA, or at least the Southern Division.
Empty backfield for the Hornets. Four-man rush. Little flip out to Kavion. Kavion doesn't get enough for a first down. It'll bring up a fourth down. The Hornets will punt it away.
And we want to thank Mark, every listener who's tuned in, every watcher of the broadcast tuning in for the season, and all the family members and loved ones and fans we meet during this.
How
This
much
is-
fun do we have when a parent walks up and just wants to let us know that their child's on the team? Not saying anything about us. It's a pleasure for us to interact with
Yeah, Jabri
those individuals.
up slowly. Yeah, we have fun, and that's what really makes it. The stories we tell on our road trips when we're eating lunch or breakfast or dinner, we talk about the people that we meet,
Oh, yeah.
sometimes more so than the games.
Yeah, I mean, and you know what? Somebody will be talking, all of a sudden they'll go, and oh, by the way, thanks for being a broadcaster. And you sort of stare at them and they go, you are? And then they tell you, and then you want to talk to them for another 45 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, El Camino thought they were going to beat Allen Hancock. 42-7, last update, Allen Hancock.
That's a shocker.
So if Fullerton were to win this ball game, we might have to not have to worry about going to Bakersfield because we ain't invited to Allen Hancock.
Yeah, I tell you. That is a shocker.
It is. Up north, Shasta 20-0 over Santa Rosa. Fresno City 14-0 against Reedley.
And Charles, your namesake, is sitting out there watching you with this punt. Grandfather came to watch this game. He loves the way you're booting the ball today, and he's happy to be here at Fullerton College to watch you grow up as a highly respected student athlete. Deep, cross the 30 all the way down to the 28. 7.2 seconds to go in the third quarter. Riverside 27, the Hornets 10, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn, and the old guy, happy to bring this to you once again after multiple years of being on the air with each other. You know what? We love our Hornets. We love all the community college teams that we get to broadcast or just watch. And if you haven't ever come out to a game, no matter what the sport is, do that. Jones goes out, rolls over. Little pitch out in the flat, caught by Jackson Owens. Gain of 6 on the play. And that brings us to the end of the third quarter. As we come to the end of the third quarter, well, the Tigers look like they're going 9-1 this season. Number 1 in the state. No? Who's number 1? Mount Sac?
Mount Sac is number 1 in the state. They're undefeated.
Yeah.
And they play Golden West tonight. So Riverside, Riverside, Mount Sac, definitely in the playoffs, as we said. Golden West, we shall see if they beat Mount Sac, they're in. If they don't beat Mount Sac and San Diego Mesa wins, San Diego Mesa, you know they get my nod as the 4th team.
Mm-hmm.
Because El Camino, Canyons, and Ventura, I still got to look up that information on who would actually make it. I think El Camino has the
Tiebreaker.
So it could be El Camino. And let's see these two teams, Southwestern and Grossmont, a chance for one of those teams, actually both those teams, to end on a high note. You know one of them's going to lose, but this is a evenly matched team that they should play well.
2nd down and 4 for your Riverside Tigers that are feeling good right about now. Jones flips it out in the flat. Run over a Hornet defender, and the crowd and the team get excited. These two teams don't like each other, do they, Corey Neyland?
Not a bit. I remember the time you almost got in a fight in the Riverside press box. I remember that.
Yeah, I was walking behind you, so they figured we were together. I tried to tell them, excuse me, I'm a Riverside fan. Jones goes back. Has time, double clutches. Ball's knocked away at the last second as he tried to thread it to Pearson.
And that's Sean Malcolm with the stop.
What, I thought you were getting like a cold flash, all of a sudden you shut the window for a second. Worried about you. Your allergies kicking up. Gabby Neyland's sitting there saying, when will this game end here on sportsnetUSA.net? 14 minutes and 25 seconds, Gabriella.
That means an hour.
Hornets are coming. They're after Jones. They make him run. He's going to stop, fling it, flings in the middle of the field, come back and make the catch. Did he bring it in?
No. Incomplete pass.
Okay. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 10. You know, you look at the young man for Riverside, Corey, I mean, he's outstanding. He's calm, he's cool, he's collected, he has a strong arm. Everything you look for at the next level. Big 3rd down and 10. He looks over the sideline.
And there's no doubt he's going to be the Offensive Player of the Year in the state of California.
Ross Nixon the 3rd. To the near side of the field, Marcus Monroe. Flip it over here. Miss one, get two after a quick pickup as Dominic Cox brings up a 4th down.
And as he's following a long line of quarterbacks that have done well for Riverside. I mean, the most recent quarterback is Retzlaff, Jake Retzlaff for
You mean the one at
Riverside.
BYU?
Yeah, he's at BYU now with an undefeated team. Put up prolific numbers. Jones is putting up more better numbers than Retzlaff.
Yeah, but he's not thrown to his brother, so that's the problem. Bills signals for a fair catch, does, gets it, be right there at the 25. So the season's close to an end with 14:36 to go. We don't know if there will be a bowl game for the Hornets. Corey Neyland's got his vote in, saying no bowl game. Ryan Osborn's got his vote in, saying no bowl game. Ed Ford's got his vote in, saying yes, a bowl game. Need to check the home page to see if that happens here on sportsnetusa.net. Toby comes back out, looking to go deep. Going deep, far side of the field, incomplete pass. Toby trying to get it out there and just throws it a little short to Grayson Richardson. So Richardson trying to run underneath it, can't do that.
Good coverage. And speaking of playoff teams up north, Modesto's got a chance to make the playoffs. They're up 28-0 over College of the Sequoias. Santa Monica 31-21 over L.A. Pierce in the American Division.
2nd down and 10 for the Hornets. AMD trying to weave his way through the line of scrimmage like he was weaving a quilt. Doesn't get me colors on it. It's going to bring a 3rd down and 7. 13:05 to go here at Hal Sherbeck Field, one of the, if not the greatest community college football coach ever. Schmidt steps up, throws it out in the flat. Little dump off. It's going to bring up a 4th down.
Halftime, last update that we have, San Diego Mesa 7, Palomar 7.
Saddleback play today?
Yes, they will.
Okay. Punt it away. Marquise Monroe standing back. Marquise signals for a fair catch. Gets it. They should mark it at the 43, which they do.
So on Sportsnet USA,
Well, we're going to put it at the 42.
38.
38? Nope, 38. I was hoping they'd move it up just for me.
I thought you were going to say the 55, but hey,
Okay,
that's
there we go.
That's
Hey, at least I
Saddleback.
got a line that's actually out there, right?
Saddleback is hosting Mount San Jacinto at 6, and that'll be on SportsNetUSA.net.
Trying to straight up the middle to the 40.
Jeremy Bourne puts up a brick wall, brings him down.
So Dominic Cox gets knocked down. I think it's in the 3rd. Going to get flags on the play. So they're going to move it back to the 31. Still 2nd down. Brady Jones looks over at the referee. 11:34 to go. Jones goes back, flips it over to the flat, gets a lead block, and Corey, that has been the thing for this team as Monroe gets it up the field, but he gets an incredible lead block again by these Tigers.
And again, that lead block mark, they're not going to call it a crackback or a blindside, but
it doesn't look like it. Hand off to Monroe. Monroe stays on his feet. First down for the Tigers. So Monroe stays on his feet, gets enough to move the chains. 10:46. Off to the right side. Big pickup there.
and that Zuri Whiter's the second. Or Jonathan Marshall, excuse me.
So, junior. See, that can't be Jonathan Marshall. That's Jonathan Marshall Jr., who carries the ball again. Goes around the corner.
So Fullerton, with 9:55 to play, down by 3 scores, 27-10. 4-6, 3-4. If nothing spectacular happens for them, Riverside will improve to 9-1.
Hand it off on the left side. So you run it one way, you run it another way.
And Daniel Kletcher makes the stop.
Met his parents today here on sportsnetusa.net.
5'10" sophomore from Centennial.
Well, now you've got the Hornets 4-6, but I have them 5-4 coming into this game.
Oh, I'm sorry. 5-5.
There you go. Hey, 50-50. Maybe.
I was confusing their conference record, and that's going to be 3-4.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
I like the quarterback looking at the running back, putting his hand on his back, and Brady Jones gives him a shove and says, "Go, man. We need to move the chains. We want to keep the ball," which they do.
So 5-5 is where they will end. And with Alan Hancock beating El Camino, if they beat El Camino, I want to give the nod to them if they both finish 5-5.
So McMaster's just running the ball in the backfield for the Tigers. Jones goes back, goes to the far end. Right there, caught, kicks the pipe, touchdown, Riverside.
That'll do it.
Do you think?
So 33-10.
Ball is spotted, kick is up, flags on the field. The kick is good, pending an investigation.
So Alan Hancock, Mark, actually will be 6-4, 4-3 in conference if they beat El Camino.
So they should go. They should get offered a bowl game over Fullerton. Perry Webster's team wins again. It was fun to watch Fullerton College basketball the other night. Corey Neyland looking forward to basketball season starting this coming Wednesday on SportsNetUSA.net. Get to listen to Corey Neyland call a little b-ball. The season has started. So he'll be out there Wednesday night. Taking it to 20. Up the middle to the outside. One hand. Peter stays on his feet. Shreds one, shreds two. And gets all the way out to the 30 for Jared Peters. Jared Peters.
Jared Peters with a huge special teams momentum swinger.
And so when you start looking at bowl games, Saddleback 6-3. They'll either be 7-3 and 6-4. San Diego Mesa, if they win, they're 8-2. Golden West loses, I think they're in the playoffs.
Toby stands back there, looks. Incomplete pass.
And San Jacinto and Saddleback play each other, and they're both 6-3. So the loser goes to drops to 6-4, winner 7-3. They'll make a bowl game, those two. And we'll see about San Diego Mesa. So there's 3 teams there.
Got to have 3 teams to play them. Flip it over the middle. Knocked away on a good defensive play.
Mayava makes that play. So there's 3. So if El Camino loses, and if they have the tiebreaker, it's either El Camino, Canyons, or Ventura.
There's 3.
So you take 2 of those teams, plus Allen Hancock, who's 3-3. They could be 4-3, 6-4 overall, and Bakersfield, who could be 6-4 and 4-3 in conference.
Schmidt almost gets picked again.
By the defensive lineman who drops back, Jesus Venegas, and almost has a pick. So there's 3 teams there.
So that gives us 6.
And
You
then-
got 6 bowl games because you have 6 and 6 now.
And then you got, if Golden West wins, they're in the playoffs. If they lose, there's a bowl game there. Long Beach 4-2, 5-4 right now before their match. Citrus, if they win, they'd be 6-4. They're 3-3 in their division right now. So
Corey's
there's 3 more.
you're lining up all the bowl games, aren't you?
Yes.
4th down and 10. Schmidt rolls out, steps up, throws it back, incomplete pass. Flag on the play, should be holding against the Hornets.
And that was not a hold. Now that one was
Early in the play.
Yeah. But still, regardless, but got to pick that one up.
So Riverside will get the ball with 7:36 to go here in the 4th quarter. The Tigers 34, your Hornets 10 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, the old guy. Happy to bring you Fullerton College sports and Fullerton College football this season here on SportsNetUSA.net. Want to thank Scott Giles, Phil Thurman, like always, want to thank him. Makes it fun being here for every home game and on the road. Phil always makes sure that we get on the road when we can. 1 miss, 2 miss. Oop, I get back to the line of scrimmage after 3 misses. But finally taken up there as Tyler Shin is in the backfield now for the Tigers.
And Mark, Citrus plays Long Beach. They're both 3-3 in their division and 4-2.
So you can contact Corey
Long
Neyland.
Beach 4-2, Citrus 3-3, but they're both 5-4 overall.
Corey's lining up bowl games right now. Second down and 10. Shine goes straight up the middle.
So here's the thing. Depending on who you want to play, if you're Alan Hancock and there's an injured Hornet, and that's Ethan Charpentier, who's had an outstanding season. That young man has had an outstanding season, and even the Riverside players called over for the trainers for help immediately. So
Well, yeah, a couple linemen tried to stop him and said, you need to get off the field from Riverside. And I know that we talk about the fierce animosity against both these schools, but Corey, the amount of times we've been out there, we've been treated nicely at Riverside. Last year, I mean, the AD went out of his way to make sure we could broadcast the game last year on radio only here on sportsnetusa.net.
Yeah. And so 5-5, you're looking at who you want to play. If you're a 6-4 team, you want to play another team at 6-4, or you want to try to get a victory. You can look at Citrus and Fullerton playing if at 5-5, if there is a bowl game and you have to go at 5-5. Yeah. If they play Alan Hancock, well, have fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, what cachet are you going to gain is who you play. I mean, if the cachet is that everybody wants to come to Fullerton and play because they'll be better next year, you may want to play them just so those recruits get to watch your program.
And make no mistake, they will be better next year. This is a young team. And yeah, 5-5. They've had rough spots and rough, but we've seen good things from this team. So if players come back and they all want to go, but this is a team and a program that's still in the upper echelon in California Community College and community colleges in the nation as a football program. So you're still going to get those teams. They are still well coached. This is just an off season that they've had, and they'll get back next year.
Yeah, and Corey, what this has done too, because we're fans, we never claim to be experts up here. We're fans, we follow them. We know the coaches, yeah, like many people who watch the game, you may wonder why, but they're all the regime changed last year. It differently. Every people got put in different positions. Some of the hierarchy stuck around. But you have new people in new positions, which allow coaches to learn different things. Now that a year's under your belt, you understand what you're doing a little better. Third down. Long 8. Refuse. You get drugged down the field for a first. They deserve to move the chains. And you look and you're Brandon McMaster and you say, I'm not getting stopped.
Because Fullerton is going for the strip. They're going for the ball. They're not tackling anymore. They're trying to get some type and create some type of turnover to try to get points on the board. So that's what happens when you're looking to try to strip the ball instead of tackling, and you really can't blame them because they're trying to get points across the board. But it's a lot too late.
So they're going to move it back. So personal foul against Riverside. They wind the clock.
Scoring update, Palomar in 7:45 to play in the third quarter, 10-7 over San Diego Mesa. Alan Hancock, 42-7, starting the third quarter over El Camino.
Wow. Those would be huge, huge if they ended up this way right now. We both like San Diego Mesa. We like what they do. Big third down. Hornets are coming. Counteract. Defense steps up. It's going to bring up a fourth down with 5:52 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's Riverside 34, your Hornets 10 on SportsNetUSA.net. Bills comes back out. He's looked spectacular, and boy, howdy, I thought I had one. As he got drugged down at the 3. I thought I had one. I was going to be so excited about today.
That's where his teammate running next to him has got to communicate. Zag left, get away from the runners. So that you zag left, the runners run into the blocker, and he scores.
Bill says back off. It should back up. It does. Backspins all the way down. They're going to mark it down at the 43-yard line. So the Hornets season in conference play has 5-12 to go. Corey has already told you about all the other teams that should be eligible for bowls, that will be available if somebody wishes to ask them. Make sure you check the homepage. Phil Thurman will update things as soon as he finds out what's going on. To let you know if a bowl game is coming up. As soon as we find out, it'll be on sportsnetusa.net. So we've got a few places to check. Kavion goes in motion from right to left. Schmidt throws it out in the flat. Out of bounds. Right there for AMD. Give him about 4 on the play. Andreas Missick-Duncombe. And they have some beautiful running backs out here. AMD in the backfield. Toby goes back, looking for something. He's got protection. Goes the other direction. With AMD, he gets pulled out of bounds. They're going to mark him just short or at the stick. We'll see. Clock keeps ticking. They move it, make it a first down, winding the clock. First down for the Hornets. Riverside would like to get one more if they can. Throw it across middle. Aiden Bravo takes it, so Bravo finally sees the ball in his direction. So Bravo gets a catch in today's game. 2nd down and 5. Handed off to AMD, straight up the middle, stays on his feet. It's a foot race. Go, baby, go, baby, go, baby, touchdown. AMD gets in the corner.
He's been the bright spot offensively. Offensively, he has been the bright spot in this game.
So, gonna go for 2. Looking, Schmidt flips it over the middle. 2 defenders waiting there.
Throw the flag. He was being held, and that's the problem with the officials. He reached in his pocket to throw the flag, but he kept it in his pocket because the officials feel the game is over as well. You have to throw that flag because it was blatant.
So no flag. 34-16.
You go for 2 because, well, 34 and 18. Oh, why?
Well, you're still down by 16.
Yeah, you're still down by 16. 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. I know, but
hey, some of us are dreamers. Reality.
And in reality, they should have a second opportunity. Yeah, you can dream all you want, Mark.
I did. I mean, we got down by the 3. I thought that was going to be touchdown, easy peasy.
It should have been.
Didn't happen. Opportunities have been on the plate.
They have. They really have for Fullerton. They just couldn't execute when they needed to because you throw 3 picks in compromising situations, it would be a different game.
Yeah.
But again, woulda, coulda, shoulda, if and ands, it's 34-16.
But hasn't that been the season?
No.
No? So how would you sum up the season?
It hasn't been a good season offensively because they never found their identity. They've never gotten to that point where it could have been a woulda, coulda, shoulda if this happened. It just never got to that level. Defensively, they've played well. Defensively, they're arguably the best defense in the state. Special teams have been a hodgepodge, mix and match, good times, bad times. It's been an inconsistent season, and there's been more that's happened not positive than not. I'm not going to say negative. They just haven't been that positive outcomes that you wished for.
So Fullerton will try an onside kick. Came up short against Saddleback. Came up short against San Jacinto. A couple games that if the Magic Bunny would have shown up, different season. Little kick off the leg. Stays in. Fullerton should have it. Let's see what the officials. They do. Hornets have the football.
And that's going to be Aiden Bravo who comes up with the onside kick. You don't see onside kicks working, but it did here for Fullerton, and they can try to make it closer with 3:36 to play.
AMD
2-5.
comes up. Schmidt goes back, throws over, caught at the 20, stays on your feet all the way down at the 10.
And Aiden Bravo. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Second catch of the day for the Hornets.
And there's an injured Riverside Tiger down. Let's hope that young man is okay. I couldn't see if it was on the tackle.
Aiden Bravo with the onside kick recovery. Aiden Bravo with the big ball reception.
So it'll be first down at the 11 with 4:28. So if magic happens and the Hornets score here, get their 2, they'll have 24. It'll be 34-24.
It's not enough time, Mark. And that's why that non-call penalty on the 2-point conversion hurts, because you would have another opportunity to get to. Can't say they're going to make it, but it could be different if you score here and a 2-point conversion. Then realistically, you get a chance. You don't have to go for an onside kick. You can kick it away with 3 timeouts in that amount of time if you score in the next minute, though. That's the issue. You'd have to score within the next minute and play solid defense if an onside kick doesn't happen. But without that 2-point conversion opportunity on that last play, there's simply not enough time.
And realize if you really want to play, well, woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Blocked field goal? Yeah, you could say that.
And then you could say, kickoff, shoulda had a touchdown.
You could. So there's 4 points.
There's
7
10
points
points.
there. There's 10 points there. Yes.
They'd have an opportunity to win the game.
But then again, Riverside, they went from 75 to about 55 in cruise control.
They did.
So that is the young man's being carried off the field, and that's going to be Blair Silva Viella, who's had a solid game with 1 pick as well. So hope the young man is okay. But again, they went down to 55 in cruise control, and they didn't even really get up to their full speed capabilities.
So it's first down and 10. AMD stays in the backfield. Schmidt hands it to him. He gets the outside, turns the corner, gets knocked out of bounds. Stop the clock. Give him 3 yards on the play. Wind the clock is what the official says. And you know, you liked that I had the referee up here before the game. And I said, remember, running clock for Corey Neyland.
Not in this situation. They should stop the clock. He wasn't dragged out of. That's not a.
Yeah. Yeah, he ran the ball out of bounds. Third down and 8 for the Hornets.
Andreas, 13 carries, 94 yards. His best game of the season, best game of his 2-year career here at Fullerton.
Schmidt goes to the back part of the end zone, out of the end zone.
They're going to say uncatchable, huh? Now they're going to say uncatchable. 13 carries, 94 yards today.
Bevenu goes to the far side of the field. Hicks comes to the near side of the field with Bills, along with Peters. Logan Lester also out there. Here they come, 4th down. Toby throws it up where there is nobody, and Riverside says, okay, we get a flag. Okay, now they're going to throw a flag, Corey, on 2 players that locked up. Nothing happened.
Face mask. Kavion had his face mask.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't see that.
But so it wasn't a malicious face mask. He did have it, though, so you got to throw the penalty.
Okay. That's what Corey said. He saw one by Kavion.
Should be during. No, it should be fourth because it was during the play.
So why accept it? Why accept the penalty? You decline it, it's first down. Why accept the penalty? Why would you give the Hornets another play? It was against Fullerton. Tom Kraft says that's why we did it, because we're going to pick up a strip sack and we are going to go basically 80 yards for a touchdown.
Taven Anderson goes 74 yards and picks it up. So Taven Anderson with the score, making it 40-16.
That was Tom Kraft's plan. Let him play it again. We'll get the quarterback, pick it up. We'll go for 74 yards and a touchdown.
Ryan Osborn, the prognosticator. Still wrong.
So is this. So is
Yeah,
this.
So is that. Yeah, everybody's wrong.
But we're just a lot closer than you.
Here's an important key. Still wrong.
But you know what?
Doesn't matter. We ain't playing horseshoes. We ain't playing hand grenades. All wrong.
Let me quote somebody. Pretty good. Pretty good. Almost like a broadcast. Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good is fine. He'll take that.
Yeah, we know that. Pretty good is fine.
But still wrong.
Wow, cold.
Blooded.
I miss that. I miss that nice scoring, Neyland. Boot kick in the middle. Looking down to the outside. Trying to find something. Riverside's playing to swallow Fullerton up. Corey, this is a team, when you look at all their last games, 66. I guess today's a bad game. Oh, look who showed up to say hi. Yeah, you know why I locked in? Now, you know what? I need that other. Just so I can walk out there. Man, oh man. Where did friendship go? First down and 10 for the Hornets. Run it up the middle. Gets a gain of 6 on the play. So Honore's in the game as a running back. Looking over the sidelines. We are at 2 minutes. So the 2-minute timeout takes place here on Sportsnet USA.net. For Ryan Osborn, for Corey Neyland, and myself, we want to thank all the parents, all the siblings that listen to their brothers and sisters, listen to all the sports we do here on SportsNetUSA.net. To all the grandparents, friends, fans, loyal followers. It's been another fun season for Fullerton College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. Don't forget, next weekend, soccer on Hornet Radio. Joe, Ryan, and a crew of about 6 go out there, so make sure you watch that.
Don't forget soccer on SportsNetUSA.net.
Soccer, yes. Men's, women's soccer coming up on SportsNetUSA.net. Cypress, Saddleback. Definitely the women and Saddleback men should be on Sportsnet. Toby throws behind the receiver. Incomplete. So he was looking for Bravo again. So was I. Looking for Aiden to catch that one, go the distance. Third down. Kobe going deep. Flag on the play. We're going to get pass interference for Corey Neyland. Why?
Because
Because? Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to be selective.
Corey can walk you back through the film here on SportsNetUSA.net with 1:48 to go. So the Hornets looking to get on board one more time. Coming. Going down deep, caught, out of bounds, dropped, incomplete pass. Great turnout by the Riverside fans for everybody with the Tigers. You travel well, you support your team well, have fun when you get into the playoffs. To everybody else in the 3C 2A and the SCFA, have a great playoff season. And for everybody invited to a bowl game, enjoy the experience of this on the community college level. Second down and 10 for the Hornets. Toby rolls out, throws, goes to Lester. Back shoulder. He's going to take that out of bounds. So Logan Lester catches that one. His first catch of the day. Move it down to the 32. Schmidt holds it, goes across the middle. Taken there. Shot to the head. That's going to be a helmet. So Bills is down on the ground.
And that was unnecessary.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, at this stage of the game, Corey, you're up by 25. They're not going to catch you with 1:26 to go.
And so
Now,
Kavion
I
is
don't-
okay. He's had an outstanding season.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
And I don't know what the 3C 2A rules are of an ejection. I was always under the impression that you cannot play in the next game that you're scheduled to play in.
Or at least the first half.
Is that what it is? Okay.
But there's been no ejection, though.
He ejected him for the
Oh,
hit.
he
Yeah,
did.
he threw him out of the game.
Okay.
Yeah,
So then it's a half.
yeah.
At
So
least
he
at
gets
least a
ejected for a half in his next game, even if it's a playoff game.
And Kavion runs off.
Mr. Electric is up on speed. Thank you, Kavion Mills.
So it'll be first and goal. Honore in the backfield. Schmidt at quarterback. Bravo here to the right. Lester to the left. First and goal for the Hornets. 1:14 to go. Throw it across the middle. Pulled in on a nice catch made out in that direction by Desmond Duffy. Desmond Duffy, who, yeah, you haven't seen Desmond Duffy all day long. Finally gets on the field. So the Hornets call a timeout. Again, want to thank Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, Gabby Neyland, because she always has to travel with us, for making this a fun football season. Thank you, Ed Ford, here at SportsNetUSA.net. I'll be around for a while because soccer, 3C, 2A, playoffs are starting. Cypress women, Saddleback women on SportsNetUSA.net. Saddleback men on SportsNetUSA.net. So we'll have that. And then if I get done early enough, I'll come flying over to Fullerton and have fun with the boys on Hornet Radio next Saturday for little soccer. Greg Aviles and his team in the playoffs again. Toby in the middle, flag in the end zone. Pass interference. So Aiden gets mugged from behind.
Alan Hancock started the fourth quarter, 49-7 over El Camino.
Yeah, Corey, why don't you wrap it up so we may have an idea of who may be in a bowl game, or later on tonight, if you're around, going around watching, who may have to win to make the playoffs.
San Diego Mesa has to win to stay in a hunt for the playoffs, 14-10 with 8:50 to play in the fourth. They're up over Palomar.
Puts pressure on
Golden West.
Golden West. Backside, incomplete.
So it puts pressure on Golden West to beat Mount Sac, because if they don't beat Mount Sac, that's 2 losses. San Diego Mesa, if they beat Palomar, has 2 losses. San Diego Mesa beat Golden West.
So they have the tiebreaker.
They should, but you know how it
Yeah,
works sometimes.
I know how it works. I don't like you, so I ain't voting for you. Touchdown, Fullerton College. So, Honore gets a touchdown. So with 41.5 seconds. 51.5? I was trying to help you.
57.
I was trying to help you.
So it's either 57.5, 51.5, 41.5.
Tomorrow. Schmidt. Ball almost intercepted. Flag on the play. You know, I can hear Ryan Osborn out there right now going, I was going to turn off the game. Oh, he's actually. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, Ryan, we agree with him. Agree with Ryan Osborn right now. And Ryan should look at me and just say, hey, powder outage. Run the 2 straight up the middle. Honore can't get in. So they will not get the 2. And the officials have had it with Riverside mouthing off, Corey. Aiden Bravo was taking an earful over there. And the referee basically looked at Taylor and said, you need to get away. You need to knock it off. And, you know, this is what happens with rivalries. I mean, you hear it year after year after year. Well, the one team we really can't stand, you never played against them. You don't even know who they are. And especially if it's on the community college level, you might be there for a variety of reasons, except that you really wanted to go play football there.
And Aiden did have a little extracurriculars after that last play as well. So that's why there was a follow-up to that.
Not that we would ever act that way if we're on the field.
I wouldn't, no.
No. You'd act worse than that.
No, I'd be wholesome.
If you believe that, you believe everything that he says here on Sportsnet. Everything.
As you should.
At sportsnetusa.net. I'll get some outside opinions on that one. Dale, give me a call, baby. I want the true story.
And that's why in life you don't worry about the outside opinions. Just go on and move forward. Stay focused.
Fullerton, who accomplished an onside kick already in this game, tries for number 2. Little bouncer. Comes up high. Bounces out of bounds. And that'll be a flag against the Hornets. So Riverside will move on, make the playoffs.
So if you're looking for the American Division playoffs, Chaffee plays Victor Valley. They're 7-2. Santa Ana plays Desert, who's 7-2. So those, we believe, will face Pasadena in the American Division Championship at Pasadena. Long Beach and Citrus is going to be important tonight. They play each other at Long Beach and you believe if Citrus wins, they'll get a bowl. We believe Long Beach will get a bowl regardless.
Yeah.
Saddleback Mount San Jacinto is key. We believe both of those teams will get into the playoffs, win or lose. It just depends on who is hosting or not.
Yeah.
The winner of that game should host a bowl game, and that's Taven Anderson, who had 1 pick and almost scored on the pick and got the fumble recovery for 6. So Saddleback and Mount San Jacinto, winner's going to host it.
Okay.
Host a bowl game. Loser might get a chance to host as well because their records are so good, but think most likely they'll travel.
Well, that's if they want to host it too,
if they want
Corey.
to,
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Ventura plays Canyons with El Camino losing, even though we believe, and I will check El Camino one more time, because that'll be interesting.
It's going to be a first down for Riverside at the 35. Or unless it's a 15 plus that, right? Yeah, they got to take it.
El Camino beat Canyons.
Wow.
El Camino beat Ventura. They lose, doesn't matter. One loss in the conference, they still go to the playoffs.
Riverside's going to take a victory formation.
So it's really Mount Sac, Golden West is the key.
So the clock is going to run. I want to thank Ryan Osborn and Corey Neyland as we get ready to come to the end of the game. Riverside is going to move on to the playoffs over Fullerton. They win today, 41-22. For Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, and I'm the old guy. You've been watching Hornet football on SportsNet USA.net.